Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 10 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 10-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
on the Hawkeyes Sports Network from Learfield. This is Hawkeye Women's Basketball, presented by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, delivering the funds the university needs to drive academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Visit uiowaenergycollaborative.com. Also brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Iowa Lottery, be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. Hy-Vee, score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. And by 988 Lifeline. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. This is Hawkeye Women's Basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Here's Rob Brooks.
And welcome to College Park, Maryland, for the only meeting between the Terrapins of the University of Maryland and the Iowa Hawkeyes. Big Ten basketball primetime on a Saturday night for the Iowa Hawkeyes at 20-2 overall. That's now 8 straight years that Coach Bluder has won 20 or more games. The Hawkeyes 9-1 in the league, coming off that big victory at Northwestern, 110-74. For the Maryland Terrapins, when they entered the Big Ten, it was tough sledding for just about everybody else. It was conference titles, very difficult place to play, and you just really had to figure out a way to try to beat them. Most teams couldn't. Well, it's happened this year as the Terrapins find themselves in the middle of the pack in the Big Ten at 12-9 and 4-6 in the conference, and coming off of 3 straight losses at Michigan, at Penn State, and then last Wednesday night Indiana came into this building and won 87-73. But this has been a tough place to play for the Hawkeyes. Iowa has not won a game here since Maryland entered the Big Ten Conference. And Iowa will try to reverse that trend tonight, but certainly won't be easy no matter what Maryland's record is. This has always been a tough place to play. Now, Maryland has lost a couple of home games this year, 9-2, but traditionally don't lose here very much. And of course, the Hawkeyes were reminded this afternoon of what happened here last year. It was just never a contest. The game got out of hand early, and that was kind of a gut check time for the Hawkeyes that rolled through the rest of the regular season, but did not win the Big Ten regular season. And you can kind of point back to this game as one of the games that hurt those chances. Of course, Iowa defeated Maryland at the Big Ten tournament, and of course went on to the Final Four. So trying to right a wrong, so to speak, tonight, but it won't be easy. A sold-out crowd. The traffic backed up for over a quarter of a mile, and people still trying to get into this building as we are just about 10 minutes away from tip-off. We will get the pregame comments from head coach Lisa Bluder, and Tiffany Reedy is back with us, and she will have her keys to a Hawkeye victory. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Exciting Iowa women's basketball team play in the Big Ten tournament. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited has just a few rooms available at the Marquette Hotel in downtown Minneapolis. The hotel is located just a few blocks and within an easy walk to the Target Center. This package is 2-night hotel only on March 8th and 9th with an option to purchase additional nights. Go to duagency.com to book this official Hawkeye women's basketball package. Click on vacations and group travel. Don't miss Hawkeye women's basketball in the Big Ten tournament. duagency.com.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. While farmers work hard to grow the best crop, their Iowa corn checkoff investments are hard at work too. Opening local and global markets for corn and corn-fed products, educating drivers on unleaded 88 as the best fuel at the pump, finding new uses for corn, and sharing the farmer's story. Iowa corn farmers are backed by researchers, educators, market experts, and more. To keep corn growing Iowa.
Welcome back to the Xfinity Center as we count down to tip off Iowa and Maryland. Time for Coach Bluder here on the pregame show. And Lisa, the only meeting between Iowa and Maryland this year, so obviously on their home floor, and they are a much better team on their home floor every year, it seems like, than they are on the road.
It does seem that way. At least in our case, it definitely has been that way. But they have lost a couple times on their home court this year. Now, they just came off a loss to Indiana, but Cheyenne Sellers wasn't playing that game, and she's dressed and looks like she's ready to go in this game. And that was a big loss for them against Indiana. And they also lost a close one to Ohio State. So, this is a very good Maryland team, even though their record isn't quite as what it has been in the past. Still a great team. Great athletics, great athletes. We're just going to have to really lock in this environment and really keep our composure.
As you've watched the games with Cheyenne Sellers playing, what difference does she make versus not being on the court?
Well, she's a 6'2" point guard, and that really makes it hard for us, posting up Gabby in our player-to-player defense. She's somebody that rebounds really well. She's just a great athlete, and if you just can take one of those out of that lineup, really, their depth is kind of a weakness. And so when she wasn't playing with this team, that was a big loss for them just because of their lack of depth.
Who else has impressed you so far?
Well, Bree McDaniel, she's from Chicago. She's a McDonald All-American, just a tremendous player. She'll move into the point guard. She'll play the point or the off guard. She is a sophomore and playing like a veteran for sure. I think Jackie Brown-Turner has been a transfer from NC State, where she was a third-team All-American, really playing well. 20 points a game in the last 5 games and shooting the ball 55% from three-point range. Great offensive rebounder. Just their physicalness and their size is what really is tough.
Defensively, what do you expect? How do you think that they'll play, especially Caitlin?
Well, that's just the whole thing, is they have so many different defenses. They could play a player defense where they front the post and switch all screens. They could go box and 1. They could go triangle and 2. They could go matchup zone. They could press us. We've seen everything out of them. So that's what makes it a little bit harder to prepare for them, because you have to prepare for so many things.
Back with more from Coach Bluder after the break. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Want to play an integral part in helping the Hawks win championships? Now is your chance to make a difference. Join the Swarm today and partner with Iowa football and the Iowa men's and women's basketball programs to serve charities in eastern Iowa. Your tax-deductible Swarm donation will compensate our Iowa student athletes for working to further the missions of local charities such as the United Way, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and more. Go to iowaswarm.com for more information and make Iowa athletics the place for our student athletes to experience the thrill of winning championships.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today for the best home comfort system you can buy. It's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
I'm Ingrid Lizarraga, breast surgeon at the University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center, the state's only NCI-designated cancer center. Here, we look beyond just the type of cancer you have to discover the molecular details of the disease. We have teams dedicated to each cancer type. with treatments and trials you won't find anywhere else in Iowa. Go to uihc.org/cancer.
Soon we'll go from pool back to school. The end of summer is a total bummer. But yesterday I went shopping and got all the essentials. New backpack, new kicks. Oh, and this is huge. Mom finally got rid of our basic internet and switched us to Extreme. The new Wi-Fi is amazing.
Go back to school with best and fast internet from Extreme. Get speeds from 100 meg up to 1 gig and Wi-Fi 360 Pro with advanced whole home coverage. Call 844-4FASTER or shop online at extreme.com.
Coach, kind of like Northwestern, defending ball screens obviously is going to be a key for you tonight as well. How do you do that defensively against Maryland?
Well, I'm really worried more about transition defense. To me, that one is really important. They score most of their points in transition. It is their best offense. And so we have to make sure that we get back in transition. I'm also concerned about their taller guards and stronger guards posting us up. So matchups concern me a little bit. I really want to box out against this team. They have a lot of people, especially their guards, that can really rebound.
Seems like they haven't shot many three-pointers this year.
Not as many three-pointers. They haven't made as many as maybe what they usually have. This is a team that's making about 6 three-pointers a game, so a little bit lower than what we've seen. It's something that if we were patient on our offense, I do think we can push. I think they're going to really set up a slow-down press and try to take that away from us a little bit. I think we'll get some open shots, and to me, it's keeping them off the boards and taking care of their guards posting up.
How important, especially at the start, to just kind of ride waves as this game goes along?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really nice to have a nice start just to get the crowd out of it a little bit. They have a pretty loud student section here, a pretty loud band that's right by our bench. So it would be nice to kind of take them out of it a little bit if we could. But you never know that, you can't count on that. So we got to be locked in and ready to play 40 minutes of really great basketball to come out with a win today.
Well, Coach, on this day, back in 1985, there was 22,157 people inside Carver Hawkeye Arena for Ohio State and Iowa, a huge event. It kind of makes me think this year it would happen every single time out if the arenas were big enough.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, this, I understand, has been the hottest ticket in 5 years to come into this game today. So it's pretty exciting, the excitement around women's basketball and around our team and whoever we're playing against. It just brings out the best in people. But that's exactly what we want to do, is just elevate our sport.
Coach, good luck tonight.
Thanks, Rob.
Head coach Lisa Bluder on the pregame show. Back with more after the break. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/corngrowsiowa.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Every Hawkeye game is fun, but some seasons are just special, like sold out before it even starts special. But you can still be there to see it. Play the Hawkeye Gold Scratch ticket, and you can win a VIP game day experience to see Iowa women's basketball. The Countdown to Carver promotion from the Iowa Lottery is your chance to witness greatness and some really, really deep threes. To enter your ticket and see details, visit ialottery.com/VIP.
Our national anthem before Iowa and Maryland tonight. Starting lineups coming up, and Tiffany will have her keys to a Hawkeye victory, the only meeting between Iowa and Maryland in the regular season. First, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Iowa Hawkeye Women's Basketball. Well, Tiffany, as we talked about in the opening segment, this has been a tough place to play for a lot of teams, and you put the Hawkeyes in that category. What has to happen tonight?
Yeah, Rob, I don't want to keep reminding everybody, but we know that the Hawks have not won here during the Bluder era. We know that they suffered a 30-point loss on this court last year. But in the last 10 years, this series is split 5-5. And I call that a good old-fashioned rivalry. And I think, you know, we were at shoot-around this morning, and Coach Bluder said to the team in her circle, we are not the same team that we were last year. And this is an opportunity to come into this arena a clean slate. I think at this point in a basketball season, so much of the game is mental. And so the Hawks really need to come in here thinking clean slate, fresh start, versus we don't want what happened last year to happen again. Mindset is going to be a huge key to this game. I think the second key point, and Coach Bluder definitely mentioned it, is the Hawks will need to focus in tonight on their transition defense. Maryland's 1 through 4 positions, they run and gun, and they're all very similar in playing style. And that style is very simple. They push the ball in transition. In fact, between those starting guards and the small forward, almost half of their points come in transition. The Hawks need to keep an eye on that. And while they're going to want to crash the boards and box out on rebounds, they're going to also need to ensure that they have players back, stopping that transition. Coach Bluder mentioned this as well. Stopping that momentum keeps the crowd out of it, kind of just tamps down that energy. Big key to the game tonight. Offensively, they're going to throw everything at us. We saw we're prepared for triangle and 2, box and 1, a really stretched out zone. The key here is when you get a variety of defenses thrown at you, you do what you do no matter what. You shoot the gaps, you drive, you stretch out the zone if they're playing zone, and drive and pitch. The benefit is, I believe all year we've seen these junk defenses, and they tend to kind of take them off and go back to the good old-fashioned man. And when that happens, then we just continue to play our style of basketball, driving to the hoop, getting it into the post. Bottom line here, another Big Ten game, another battle. This is a sold-out crowd. It's loud. There was booing before the game even started. It's going to be a fun game tonight. Hawks just need to embrace it, capitalize on it, play their game.
And really, you look at the Ohio State game, and that was the one true road game that Iowa's had in the Big Ten.
Yep.
The other crowds, and you throw Northwestern into that category too, it was sold out because Iowa fans were in the Chicagoland area, came out. So there's Iowa fans here, a lot of black and gold, a lot of Caitlin Clark fans, but Maryland is a basketball community as well.
Agreed. I was shocked when the Hawks ran out after warming up to the locker room to hear the boos. We're just not used to that. And the Hawks, again, will have to kind of stay focused and not worry about the literal noise here. But it's tough. And this arena holds, I think, around 18,000.
17,950.
Okay, so pretty close. It feels small, right? That I look around, it's hard for me to believe it. You feel like you're in a smaller space than that, which just makes everything louder and more hyped.
For a taste of unique flavors you'll love, stop by Molly's Cupcakes in downtown Iowa City for homemade cupcakes, cookies, bars, and coffee drinks. Molly's Cupcakes is a proud supporter of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Starting lineup for the Hawkeyes, as we have been accustomed to, especially since Big Ten play started, Kate Martin, Gabby Marshall, coming off of 4 made three-pointers against Northwestern. I think that'll be key tonight. Anna Stalkey in the middle. Really got going at the start of the game against the Wildcats. Ended up with 17, 6 out of 9 from the floor. In the backcourt, Molly Davis, averaging 5.9, and Caitlin Clark, the Big Ten's all-time leading scorer, and now second in NCAA history. It won't happen tonight.
No,
I don't think.
Unless she scores 104 points, because I think that's where she's off.
For Maryland, the big question mark coming into tonight was whether leading scorer Cheyenne Sellers was going to play or not. She is in the starting lineup. Don't know how effective she'll be, but did not play in the loss to Indiana on Wednesday night, 87-73. She'll be joined by 6'1" graduate, transfer from Florida, Lavender Briggs, averaging 9.3 and 4.9 rebounds a game. Brenai Alexander, transfer from Vanderbilt, had 10 points against the Hoosiers midweek. Jakia Brown-Turner, transfer from NC State. You heard Coach Bluder talk about her. She had 22 on 7 of 10 from the floor against the Hoosiers. And Bree McDaniel, McDonald's All-American in her sophomore campaign, a 46.9 career three-point shooter. Hawkeyes in the traveling black uniforms with the gold Iowa across the front, gold numbers. Maryland in the home whites with Maryland in red across the front with red numbers. Tonight's opening tip is brought to you by Farmers State Bank. Earn $250 when you open an eligible checking account at the Tiffin branch or online. Get rewarded for banking with FSB. Visit myfsbonline.com for complete details. Subject to approval, minimum $50 deposit. Requires e-statements and direct deposit. Member FDIC. It'll be Stalkey and Cheyenne Sellers that will jump.
And how often do you see a point guard doing the jump ball? Very rarely, I would say.
Yeah, Sellers goes at 6'2", the junior from Aurora, Ohio. Brenda Fries, the head coach for the Maryland Terrapins. Of course, Cedar Rapids native. Won a state championship at Cedar Rapids Washington High School. Has 575 wins against 156 losses as the head coach at Maryland. And of course, Coach Bluder at Iowa, 5-14, 251. That's over 1,000 wins at their respective schools in this game tonight. Hawkeyes win the tip, and we'll have the opening possession left to right in front of us as we are underway at the Xfinity Center. Here is Marshall, free throw line extended left, gives to Clark, and she'll bomb a three-pointer and drill it left to the top of the key on the Gary Williams court logo. How about that for a start?
Great start. Looks like they're in a man-to-man, which kind of is maybe a good thing for the Hawks.
As Brown-Turner goes down the left side of the lane and kind of stumbled and took a couple of steps and is called for traveling. Iowa basketball with a 3-0 lead. And it will be Lavender Briggs that starts on Clark as she brings the ball across the timeline, feeds to Davis. She's a couple of feet off the top of the key on the right side. Now Martin, free throw line extended right, drives toward the baseline, and now backs her way in. No charge called. Clark reverses the ball to Marshall. Now to Molly Davis in the corner, tries to drive in. She's cut off by Alexander. 3 to shoot, and Clark is going to be called for traveling deep in the corner. And there's that suffocating defense that Maryland throws at you.
Yeah, and it looks like right now, at least in that possession, they're dropping down a guard to sort of bother Hannah Stolke. That's going to leave one of the Hawks open, but they've got to look for that open player and move the ball around quickly.
Brown Turner in between the circles for Maryland. Drives down the left side. She's cut off. Gives to Briggs. Her three-pointer left wing, no. Battle for the rebound. Won by Maryland. The putback is up and good by Brown Turner.
It looked like Hannah Stolke had the positioning on that. Coach Bluder was kind of arguing for the over the back, but, you know, it's a tough call.
Clark, long 2 straight away. No good. Had some contact there. She wanted a foul. In transition, Alexander 3, right wing, no. And a whistle underneath on the rebound as the ball went out of bounds. And it will be Hawkeye basketball. No full court pressure as of yet thrown out there by the Terps.
Yeah, and as we know, as Coach Bluder mentioned, they've got a million defenses ready to go. At any point, they might change that up.
And the delay was some language coming from the student section.
Oh, geez.
And they're trying to get that quieted. Here's Clark across the timeline, drives down the right side of the lane. Floater is no good. Rebound taken by Maryland. Here's Briggs in transition. 3-2 Iowa. Alexander for 3, right wing, knocked it down. Marshall across the timeline for the Hawkeyes. Maryland by 2. Here's Clark driving down the left side of the lane, and she shuffled her feet as she went up in the paint. Maryland basketball. .7:55 left to go in the first. Sellers brings it across the timeline. Angles right side. She does have a heavy knee brace on, and now she drops a pass inside to McDaniel. Goes up strong in the paint and scores. 7-3 Maryland. Davis in the front court. Here's Martin, top of the key. 3, rimming no. And the rebound taken down by Sellers. Brings it herself across the timeline. Top of the key. Now drives down the right side. She goes up. The floater good in the paint. Off of Gabby Marshall.
And this is where the Hawkeyes need to calm down on offense, gather themselves, take a deep breath. It's loud in here. There's a momentum, and they need to make a good move here on offense.
Martin loses control of the ball after getting a pass from Clark. Dug up by the Terrapins. All the way to the rim. McDaniel off the window, scores the layup. Timeout Hawkeyes. An 11-0 run by Iowa after Clark's three-pointer with 7:04 left to go in the first quarter. Not what the Hawks were looking for.
Definitely not, but I will be very positive on this point. I think in a game like this, it runs, right? Things can happen very quickly. 11 points happened in, the last minute and a half? And so the Hawks need to take this opportunity, take this time out, take a deep breath, start getting stops, and making wise plays on offense.
Maryland already has 4 players that have scored, and they are getting to the rim, getting out, running in transition, and it's been an issue for the Hawkeyes. And, you know, Coach talked about in the pregame show matchups, and that's been an issue so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's a height advantage, right? Their point guard, Sellers, is 6'2", being guarded by Molly Davis. So there's height advantage that Maryland has. And then on the defensive side, so far tonight, Maryland is communicating. They're switching. They're creating a big barrier down low that's making, causing Caitlin Clark to travel a couple times and causing us to make mistakes.
Hawk fans, experience your home away from home at Coralville's finest all-suite hotels, the Homewood Suites and the Home 2 Suites by Hilton. Each offer guests spacious suites, complimentary breakfast, 24-hour fitness center, pool, hot tub, guest laundry, and convenient locations. Let their warm and friendly staff take care of you and your family when you visit Hawkeye Country. Caitlin Clark started off with a three-pointer, which you love to see. Actually hit it from the logo, the Gary Williams Court logo on the left side of the court. And ever since then, an 11-0 run by Maryland.
Yeah, in over a minute 42. So again, just a quick series of events. I'd say the other thing right now that's hurting the Hawkeyes is 3 turnovers, out of the bat. Maryland somehow already scored 6 points off of those turnovers. So taking care of the ball is going to be a key point, I'm sure, that Coach Bluder is discussing right now in that huddle.
Hawk fans, you can drive your team to a win this season by filling up with unleaded 88 with quick rewards at any Quick Star location. Fuel up with 8 gallons or more of unleaded 88, and you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win great prize packs throughout the season. Quick Star, proud partner of Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Also, Hawkeye fans, Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield knows you're here for every fadeaway, every alley-oop, and every buzzer beater. And Wellmark is here for every moment, too. With trusted health coverage committed to making health care better. Learn more at wellmark.com/hoops. Well, I talked to Coach Bluder in the pregame show about the start. You obviously want to get off to a good start, which Iowa did with its first possession. But then Maryland, with good defense, triggered that transition offense, and the Hawkeyes got to find some way to slow it down. And then, as you mentioned, Tiffany, can't turn the ball over. Got to get good looks.
Yeah, gotta take care of the ball. Again, they're playing a tough man-to-man defense, but they're communicating on screens, dropping down a little bit, fronting Hannah Stolke. There's going to be a guard open. They just got to move that ball crisp and fast and get it around to look for that open guard.
So Alexander has a 3, Brown Turner a 2, Bree McDaniel 2 field goals for 4 points, and Cheyenne Sellers, the point guard for Maryland, with a basket. Hawkeyes got a Caitlin Clark 3. Hawkeye basketball out of the timeout. 7:04 left to go in the first. 11-3 in favor of the Terrapins. It's a whiteout here. That's the theme. Many got the memo and many didn't. Here's Kate Martin in the paint. Drops it down to Stolke. Left-handed layup, no good. But the ball tipped out to Gabby Marshall on the left wing. Now inside Martin, turnaround jumper, paint. Good by Kate Martin, a huge basket for the Hawkeyes.
Big basket. Kate Martin, again, has, height disadvantage, but muscled it up there. Exactly what they needed.
Here's Brown Turner working on the baseline. Got to the left block. Shot is no good. Partially blocked potentially by Stolke. She's on the ground getting up as Davis pushes it in the front. Gets into the paint. 11-6 in favor. Make that 11-5 in favor of Maryland. Now Molly Davis will set things up in between the circles. Brings the ball right side to Martin, still outside the arc. Now top of the key, Gabby Marshall. Reverses it. Here's a three-pointer for Molly Davis. Swish from the left side.
And there it is, Rob. That open guard. They're letting one of our players be wide open. We've got to continue to find her. In that instance, Molly Davis, who we love shooting the 3 ball. She needs to do it all night.
Big game, Molly Davis. And the Hawks pull to within 3 on a 5-0 run. 5:45 left to go in the first. Here's McDaniel. Free throw line extended left and took an extra step before she put the ball on the floor. And it'll be Iowa basketball as Sydney Falter comes into the game. So Marshall hits it into Clark in the backcourt. Briggs waits for her across the timeline. Hawks down 3. Now at the elbow. Here's Stolke. Fakes. Drives. Spin move. Paint. Left-handed layup. No good. She's made 2 really good moves. Just haven't finished.
Just incredible moves. She'll get there. She'll get there. It's just gotta keep shooting.
Clark with the block inside on Alexander. Gets the ball. Brings it across the timeline herself. Whips it across the court. Here's Marshall to Martin to Stolke. Missed another layup. And the rebound taken down by Briggs. Into the front court. Gives it off to Alexander. Wide open 3. Top of the key. No. Ball tipped around. Dug up by Hannah Stolke. Got it away from Briggs that time. Still 11-8. Here's Clark. Now on the right wing. Fakes left. Goes right. Dribbles between her legs. Can't get away. Drops it off for Kate Martin. who drives to the free throw line. Lost control of the ball into Alexander's hands. Now McDaniel in between the circles. Sellers fires a pass right wing. Alexander tried to get it to Briggs. Close to the block on the right side. Threw it away. Iowa basketball as Addie O'Grady enters the lineup.
Yeah, so Hannah Stolke's going to grab a seat, take a breather, and this is going to be one of her biggest challenges. Maryland is physical, and this is where she's got to shake it off, take a breather, and get back in and play strong.
Clark drives down the right side, and Addie O'Grady receives the pass, misses the layup. Boy, the Hawkeyes should have had 8 points at least, but they're down 3. Sellers spots up, medium range, jumper no good, left wing. A falter the rebound. Clark. Wild pass down court to Kate Martin in the paint, and Kate is shoved, and this will be a foul on the Terrapins. We have been stuck on 11-8.
Yes.
Maryland 0 for their last 4. They haven't scored for 247.
Yeah, it's been a very fast-paced game with both teams kind of getting their hands on the ball and causing turnovers.
McDaniel the foul. Hawkeyes get it in. Here's Davis in between the circles. Down 3. We approach 4. First quarter. Here's Clark in between the circles. Now Masonis comes out on her, and Caitlin Clark takes advantage and knocks down a three-pointer.
Beautiful shot by Caitlin Clark, just what the Hawks needed. Up
and under. Euro step move by Brown. Turner gets free and lays it up and in. She has 4. Hawkeyes quickly down court. Gabby Marshall free. Count it from the left wing.
Big time shot by Gabby Marshall. We need her to keep doing what she's been doing these last few games.
Briggs, medium range, left side, no. The ball trickles out of bounds. Iowa basketball. Now we've got some flow.
Yeah, and when we have this fast-paced game, it's good when the ball goes out of bounds and everybody gets a little bit of a breather. Every one of those types of plays is a benefit to the whole, both squads.
Clark walks it across the timeline. Iowa 14, Maryland 13, 3:25 left to go first quarter. Here's Sydney Falter, free throw line extended right. Holds the ball, looks inside. Cross-court pass, and it's tipped away by Sellers, intended for Marshall. Hawkeyes will have it along the sideline. 12 on the shot clock. Hawks by 1. Davis will throw it in. Looks for Clark, gets it out to her, and here's another logo 3. Swish for Caitlin Clark. 1 dribble and a three-pointer.
Wow.
That one was really deep.
Deep.
Pass inside, layup, Briggs is good. Maryland has gotten a lot of paint points so far. 17-15 Iowa. Here's Clark. Maneuvering on the right wing. Flips a pass inside O'Grady. Traffic, no. Ball tapped around. Boy, the Hawkeye 5 players have had struggles scoring. Fast break opportunity. Layup missed by Maryland. Briggs had a wide open right-handed layup, couldn't get it to go. Hawks with the basketball up 2. And another logo 3. Clark, this one skips off the front of the rim. O'Grady gets the rebound to a Falter. Takes a couple dribbles, kicks it back out to Molly Davis. Drives paint, now gives it to O'Grady. Baseline jumper is good from the right side.
There we go. She maybe missed a bunny or two, but she's going to step out a few feet from the hoop. Nothing but net.
Showed some confidence. Great to see out of Addie O'Grady. Hawks by 4. 2:10 left to go in the first. Sellers in between the circles. Keeps that left-handed dribble going. Marshall on her. Now Brown Turner. 3. Drilled it from the left wing.
We have got a basketball game here tonight.
Hawks by 1. Under 2, first quarter. Here's Davis, free throw line extended right behind the arc. Dribbles between her legs, now goes toward the baseline. And underneath the basket, nowhere to go, travel. Kate Martin back for the Hawkeyes. For Sydney Falter. Alexander back for the Terrapins at 12-9 on the year, 4-6 in the Big Ten. Cheyenne Sellers will walk it across the timeline. Call out a play. Marshall comes out on her. Iowa by 1. Now Alexander, free throw line extended right. Masonis reverses it to Brown Turner. Molly Davis on her. Brown Turner. Now to Fisher into the game. Emily Fisher, a 6-foot freshman. Masonis gets it to Alexander. 3 left wing. Rimming no. Rebound Down to Kate Martin. Now Clark across the timeline, comes down the right side. Gets toward the paint area. Flips a shot up with one hand and got it to go off the window.
Well, she faked me out on that. I thought she was trying to do a little flip pass to Addie O'Grady, but she flipped it right into the hoop.
Just outside the lane, about 10 feet away. Hawks by 3. Maryland with the basketball under a minute. Fisher drives in, has it blocked by O'Grady, blocked again, and then a whistle. A little bit late on the baseline, and this will go against O'Grady.
I think I have to say I disagree with that call. I thought it looked like it was all ball.
Stuelke back in for Addie O'Grady. She hit a medium-range baseline jumper. Hawks by 3. 49.3 left to go. Free throws for the 6-foot freshman, Emily Fisher. Set up the best zone defense from Home Heating Costs this winter. Tune up your furnace, seal up your drafts around your home, and visit MidAmericanEnergy.com to find more ways to keep warm with less energy. .3 left to go. 2 shots. First one good. Emily Fisher, her first point. Averaging 2.9. Plays about 13 minutes a game. This one strong off the bracket, Iowa basketball. By 2. Here's Clark in between the circles. And a whistle away from the ball. And a hold will be called on Jakia Brown-Turner. Lavender Briggs back for the Terrapins. It'll be Iowa possession along the baseline. Clark will throw it in. Hawks by 2, 41 seconds left to go in the first, 22 on the shot clock. Looks inside, now gets it to Martin in the corner. She drives baseline floater off the window, too strong. Stuelke the rebound, kicks it back out to Molly Davis. 3-pointer, swish from the left wing.
Again, I want the ball in Molly Davis's hands in games like this. She is ice cold and she steps up to the plate.
Brown-Turner makes a move in the paint. Shot no good with the left hand. Rebound taken down by Clark, and Iowa can hold for the final shot with 12 seconds left to go in the quarter. Iowa by 5. Clark keeps that right-handed dribble going, now fires a 3-pointer and drops it in deep from the right side. Caitlin Clark with 14 in the quarter, and the Hawkeyes, after 10 minutes of basketball, lead Maryland 27-19. What a timeout by Coach Bluder after that 11-0 run by Maryland after the Hawkeyes scored the first field goal of the game.
Exactly, and the Hawks responded, right? They came out, played solid defense, are shooting lights out, and just were able to get themselves calmed down and refocused. And I think as they go into the second quarter here, they're going to want to continue to control the pace of this game.
From the Xfinity Center, what a first quarter of basketball. Iowa 27, Maryland 19. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Hey Hawkeyes, while you're hard at work in class or on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Every Hawkeye game is fun, but some seasons are just special, like sold out before it even starts special. But you can still be there to see it. Play the Hawkeye Gold Scratch ticket, and you can win a VIP game day experience to see Iowa women's basketball. The Countdown to Carver promotion from the Iowa Lottery is your chance to witness greatness and some really, really deep threes. To enter your ticket and see details, visit ialottery.com/VIP.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Welcome back to the Xfinity Center. This is as loud of an arena as we've been to this year, and a student just make a half-court shot.
Half-court shot.
That was Caitlin Clark-esque.
Exactly.
And then some.
It's like Caitlin Clark is rubbing off on the entire world, including the college student.
Well, she was handed one of those big checks.
I know, and I'm curious how much she's walking away with.
Wow. You talk about electricity in the air.
Yes, this is by far probably the most fun game that I've been to yet this year. There's been a lot of fun ones.
Want to congratulate our United Healthcare Small Business Spotlight winner this week, Baseline Wealth, proudly headquartered right in Cedar Rapids. Base Point Wealth fee-only advisors provide independent and transparent wealth management advice to clients throughout the state of Iowa. For more information and important disclosures, please visit basepointwealth.com. Congratulations to Base Point Wealth of Cedar Rapids. In that first quarter, just on fire from three-point range are the Hawkeyes. 7 of 9. Clark 3 for 4. Then Molly Davis 2 for 2, and she's kind of found a really good spot there on the left wing.
Yeah, I mean, again, their weak side defense is sagging off so much. She's going to be wide open every time. Now, Maryland's going to have to adjust, right? So we'll see what happens in quarter 2 and what they're going to come out in and how the Hawks then will figure out how to attack that.
(27-19) as we begin the second quarter. Here is Sellers weaving her way to the right side. Reverses it to Briggs. She's on the left wing, drives all the way to the basket, to the right side, lays it up and in. Briggs with 4. And it's 27-21. Lob pass inside. Stalky wide open. Great catch underneath the hoop. Lays it up with the left hand for her first basket.
She can kind of sigh of relief and continue to attack the hoop.
So Alexander in between the circles, hands it to Brown Turner at the elbow. Back to Sellers. Goes to work on the right side outside of the paint, takes a step inside the paint, airballed, but got her own rebound. Clark knocked it away, then she saved it from going out of bounds. Gets it back to Briggs, who dribbles it off her foot, and now Clark digs it up. Pushes the ball down court, all the way to Davis, to Stalky, left-handed layup good.
Muscling it up strong. Excellent look by Molly Davis inside.
Hawks by 10, 31-21. Maryland gets in the front court. 7 3-pointers in the first quarter is a school record for first quarters. Here's a 3-pointer right in front of the Iowa bench, drilled by Brown Turner. That's 10 for her.
I was just going to say, she is one we have got to keep our eyes on. She has had the hot hand the last game out for Maryland and has a lot of potential to really score.
Marshall can't knock down the 3-pointer, left to the top of the key. 31-24 Hawkeyes. Sellers wide open 3, left wing, ribbing no. Rebound taken down by Kate Martin. Gets it to Clark. Brings it across the timeline on the right side of the court. Now in between the circles, step back 3, rimming no, but then crashing the boards as Martin and missed a wide open layup.
Oh, Kate Martin's timing was absolutely perfect there. Grabbed that rebound straight up, and just a bummer that it rimmed out.
Here's McDaniel. Turnaround jumper, elbow is good. McDaniel with 6. Boy, don't count up the missed Iowa layups.
No.
31-26. Hawks with the lead in the basketball. Here's Clark on the right wing. Oh, she eyes another three-pointer. This one a little bit strong, but a long rebound taken by Stolke. Back to Clark on the left side. Bounce pass inside, Hannah Stolke, and she exposed the ball out in front, which allowed Briggs to tie her up. And it'll be Maryland basketball. And then going back after it, Stolke commits the foul.
Yeah, I think Hannah has the matchup down low, the strength. There's two players with a lot of strength, and it's easy to kind of muscle your way, and in that case, she got called for the foul.
31-26, Hawks with the lead, Maryland with the basketball. Here's McDaniel, turnaround 10-foot jumper, no good. Rebound by Fisher, put back, no. Rebound underneath the basketball to the Hawkeyes, Caitlin Clark. We're under 7 in the second quarter. Kylie Feuerbach into the game, goes baseline and goes down. Lost her balance and the ball goes out of bounds, but touched last by the Terrapins. O'Grady back for Iowa. Hawks will have it. Left to the basket along the baseline. On top by 5. Clark gets it in, then gets it back. Whips a pass inside Kate Martin. This time drops in the right-handed layup.
Magical. It was a magical pass to Kate Martin. It's
a no-look pass from the right wing.
With so much strength on it as well.
Here's Sellers. Gets it to Briggs on the right wing. Holds it. Now puts it on the floor. Cross-court pass to Sellers. Now back to Briggs. Takes a dribble. Now Sellers. Moves it to the high post area, then drops it into McDaniel underneath the basket. Bank shot, no. O'Grady grabs the rebound, and Caitlin Clark needs a timeout in the backcourt. Not sure what happened. Not sure if she maybe got
it looks like maybe
hit.
Yeah,
wind knocked out of her maybe,
yeah, type situation.
So I wonder if they'll now go take a look and go back and see what happened. It will be Iowa basketball. 6:16 left to go in the second quarter. Iowa 33, Maryland 26. And now we're just going to play on. Feuerbach, Davis, O'Grady, Falter, and Martin. 5 for the Hawkeyes. So now Molly Davis on the point. Brings it across the timeline. As Maryland gets into a zone defense. Molly Davis in the paint. Gets it back out to Falter. Right wing. Now Davis in the corner. Drives baseline, contact. And a charge will be called on Molly Davis, her first. That's the Hawkeyes' second team foul. We're under 6 in the second quarter, 33-26 Iowa. Almost a steal by Kate Martin. Now in the corner to Brown Turner. Alexander now top of the key. Briggs short on the three-pointer. Nice rebound by O'Grady in the paint.
Yeah, she's really bringing down the boards tonight. That was her 4th.
Kubek into the game for Maryland. Lob pass inside to O'Grady. Holds it above her head and lays it up and in with the left hand. Carried on the right side of the iron, but dropped in.
Great footwork and poise there by Addie O'Grady to keep control of the ball and get it in the hoop.
Brown Turner fakes a 3, moves in for a 15-foot jumper left wing. No. Martin the rebound. Gets it down to Molly Davis. Lob pass inside to Addie O'Grady. Catches it in traffic and knocked out of bounds by Bree McDaniel underneath the basket. 35-26. Marshall and Clark back for the Hawkeyes. Iowa basketball along the baseline. Clark will throw it in. Clark looks, bounce pass to Marshall, now up top to Molly Davis. Right side, Clark drives baseline. Runner is up and no good, short, off the window. Rebound to the Terrapins. In transition, McDaniel at the free throw line. Kicks it right side, Alexander, 3, got it. 2 threes for Alexander, the transfer from Vanderbilt. But the Hawkeyes transition game gets going. Lob pass down court, and they find Addie O'Grady with 6.
Yeah, Addie O'Grady right now is having a great night. She's running the court really well, getting down to the other side of the court faster than any other big out there.
And now creates some defense. So Grady and Clark were there for the steal. Gets it to Molly Davis. Floater, paint, good.
Swish. I love her floater shot. She'll take that shot over any player on the court.
Hawks back up by 10. 4:15 left to go. Here's a steal. Sydney Fulter down the right side of the lane. Layup, no good. Putback is good. Molly Davis there for a perfect putback.
Mighty Molly has shown up tonight. As we have seen time and time again, she's doing all the things that are making a huge impact on the court. She's skied up for that rebound, too.
Timeout on the court. 4:09 left to go in the second quarter. It's called by Maryland. Iowa 41, Maryland 29. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
To anyone passing through our state, fields and fields of corn might be what they see. But the people who call Iowa home know it's so much more. Corn is ethanol, a homegrown, renewable fuel. Corn is delicious pork, beef, poultry, and dairy. Corn is in 4,000 products we rely on every day. So yeah, our highway views are full of corn, and we're proud of it. Because corn grows Iowa. Show your support for Iowa corn farmers at iowacorn.org/fan of corn.
Want to test drive U.S. Cellular's award-winning network? It's free for 30 days. Want to test drive U.S. Cellular even faster? Just get a race car driver to be your personal chauffeur.
Just let me buckle my... Whoa! Hey, my calls and data work great out here.
Test drive U.S. Cellular free for 30 days. Named the leader in 5G coverage in Iowa.
You can pull over now. Please?
U.S. Cellular. Built for us. Terms apply. Awards based on open signal independent data. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Hawkeyes have outscored Maryland in the quarter 14-10. It's been a little bit back and forth, but now the Hawkeyes have led for 11 minutes and 18 seconds. Maryland for just 4:07, and now have the biggest lead of the ballgame at the 4:09 mark. Iowa 41, Maryland 29.
I mean, I think the difference here, honestly, is getting over those missed bunnies. We've seen Addie O'Grady come in just 7 minutes of play. She's got 6 points, 4 rebounds, is running the court very well and getting big shots. And of course, Molly Davis is the story so far of this half. 10 points, perfect shooting, 4 for 4 and 2 for 2 from behind the three-point line. It's those hustle plays, that fearlessness that we love about her that we're seeing on full display tonight.
As a proud sponsor of the Iowa Hawkeyes, U.S. Cellular wants you to make the most of today by choosing game day traditions first and scrolling later. U.S. Cellular is built for us. Talked about these two coaches at their respective schools have 1,089 victories. Overall, 1,502 victories between the two of them.
It's just incredible that they've seen that many. That's just the
both
victories.
From Lynn County.
Yeah, and that many basketball games to be a part of. But you're right. When you think about geographically, Iowa produced such phenomenal coaches that grew up so close to each other.
Of course, Brenda Fries started her head coaching career at Ball State, was there for a couple of years, then 1 year at Minnesota, and then came to Maryland the 2002-2003 season and won a national championship in 2006. Not been to the Final Four since 2015.
Yeah, I remember Coach Fries very well at Minnesota. I was playing then, and they were a powerhouse at Minnesota. I remember being kind of surprised at her choice to go to Maryland, but of course, as we see now, as we look back in history, it all makes sense.
Addie O'Grady with 6 points in this game. She scored 7 at Ohio State, really had good minutes there as well.
Yeah, I'm really loving to see her getting more confident and really maximizing her time out on the court.
Maryland with the basketball, 41-29 Hawkeyes. Here is Sellers, right wing. Puts the ball on the floor. Paint, drops it inside. Nice pass. And Masonis gets her first basket on a layup. Hawks quickly down court. Marshall on the right wing. Keeps that left-handed dribble going. Now a falter in that same area. Hawks by 10. Now Sydney brings it up to the top of the key. Pushes it left side. Molly Davis fakes a three. Puts it on the floor. Floater. Paint. Count it. What a move.
A thing of absolute beauty, and she has it down to such a science. I mean, it is incredible to watch that shot.
12 for Molly Davis in the first half. Maryland in the front court. Alexander. She'll fire a three-pointer. That's an air ball, but right into the hands of Brown Turner, who lays it up and in. Just fell right into her hands.
Is she going to get an assist for that? We'll see.
Sydney a falter in the front court. Free throw line extended left. 43-33 Iowa. Here's Marshall. Left to the top of the key. We're under 3. Now Clark in between the circles with 11 to shoot. Now Briggs comes out on her. Clark lost control of the ball. She's doubled. Somebody's open. Clark wheels to the left side. Now goes all the way to the basket. Left-handed layup is good. She split 2 defenders and then nobody there.
You gotta be kidding me. The poise that she just demonstrated. Just dribbled her way out, straight for a layup.
Here's Briggs on the left wing. Drops it inside Masonis. Now right side three-pointer. Good, Alexander. That's 3 threes for her. She has 9. 45-36. Clark, the answer. Deep three, no. Long rebound. Marshall gets it to Molly Davis. Spins. Now to a falter for 3 right wing. Skipped off the right side of the iron. Into the hands of Alexander of Maryland. 2 minutes left to go. 45-36. Hawkeyes on top. Sellers of Maryland with the basketball. She's at the top of the key, gets it to Alexander, fires another 3. That just grazed the right side of the rim and into the hands of Clark. Brings it across the timeline, looking down court, dribbles behind her back, gets in the paint, spin move, contact, finishes off the window, and one opportunity.
Wow. That was an acrobatic.
As smooth as it gets.
I was going to say, acrobatic, smooth as butter. And again, where Caitlin Clark is at her best is in these environments, this high pressure. She maintains a poise about her that is unmatched in the game. It's like the more intense, the more loud, the more she gets into the zone.
Free throw good. That's 19 for Clark. Masonis the foul. It's 48-36. Hawkeyes, 1:35 left to go until halftime. Sellers walks it across the timeline in between the circles. Gabby Marshall on her. Brings it left wing. Now McDaniel, top of the key, drives down the right side, hesitates, gets into the paint. Bounce pass back out to Brown Turner, right wing. Now gets it to Briggs. Goes up in traffic. Bank shot, no. Ball tipped out. And Maryland will have another opportunity. Here's Sellers. Out near the timeline on the left side. Uses a screen. Weaves her way in the paint. Took about 7 steps and is finally called for traveling. I exaggerate, but took 2.
No, it was, and seemed surprised about it. But that seemed like one of those very obvious foul or travels to me.
Hawkeye basketball. We're under a minute. 48-36. This will not be the last possession of the ball game. Here in the second quarter. And Caitlin Clark wide open in the paint, rolling off a screen. Gets a pass from Martin. Clark with 21.
Perfect curl off that screen to get herself to the hoop. Kate Martin with the great pass.
50-36. Clark almost a steal. Alexander left wing. Tries to back her way in, then pulls it back out. Hawkeyes will get it back. Lob pass inside Sellers. And she lays it up and in. Help just a little bit tardy. Sellers with 4. Clark across the timeline. Can hold for the final shot of the second quarter. Iowa by 12. Here's Clark. Top of the key. Dribbles between her legs. Goes all the way to the rim. Layup is good from the right block.
Magical. Pure magic.
And down court shot, no good. And the Hawkeyes will take momentum into the halftime break on top, 52-38. What a first half for Iowa offensively. 7 out of 14 from 3. Clark with 23 points in the first half. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative is proud to be the presenting sponsor of Hawkeye women's basketball this year, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. Learn more at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. Bud Light Halftime Show comes your way next from the Xfinity Center in College Park, Maryland. The halftime score, Iowa 52, Maryland 38. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
When it comes to your health, you need the full picture. That means the right diagnosis and the right treatment right from the start. I'm Aaron Bose, pediatric neurologist with University of Iowa Healthcare. Here, we're working together every day to advance medicine so you can get the best care. With more research, more clinical trials, and more treatment options than anywhere else in the state, the University of Iowa Healthcare is changing medicine and changing lives. Learn more at uihc.org.
At MidAmerican Energy, our 1.6 million customers depend on our energy 24/7. That's why we work 24/7 to deliver the safe, reliable energy you need. To keep our 99.9% reliability record, we're enhancing our technology, improving resiliency, and investing in critical infrastructure. We're generating power from all available resources to cover any increases in demand. And we're innovating to ensure you always have the energy you need. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this is Hawkeye Women's Basketball. Brought to you by Authentic Brand, the premium label of choice. Hy-Vee, score big savings with the new Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa Lottery, be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit ialottery.com for details. Honda, to see how Honda crushes the competition, see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest. And by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right. This is the Bud Light Halftime Show. Now back to courtside.
Hawkeyes made 6 of their last 8 from the floor, including 3 of their last 3. And welcome to the Bud Light Halftime Show. Of course, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Time for our halftime stats report, brought to you by Hy-Vee. Score big savings with the all-new, totally free Hy-Vee Perks membership.
Well, Rob, the same old story. The Hawks tonight, so far led by Caitlin Clark. 23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting very well from the floor, 9 for 16 and 4 for 8 behind the three-point line. Molly Davis continues to bring the heat. 12 points, 5 for 5, 2 for 2, shooting perfect, 2 rebounds. Kate Martin with 4 points, 7 rebounds. Hannah Stolke, 4 points, 4 rebounds. And Gabby Marshall with a 3-pointer. The Hawks are out rebounding the Terrapins 23-16, which is something we hadn't really talked about much, but is definitely an impressive stat. And of course, the Hawks are shooting well right now. 22 for 40 from the field, 55%, and 50% or 7 for 14 behind the three-point line. For the Terrapins, they are led by Jakia Brown-Turner, 12 points, 6 boards, followed by Bree McDaniel with 6 points, 3 assists. Brene Alexander has 9 points. Cheyenne Sellers, quiet tonight, but we know coming off an injury or an illness from last game, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Lavender Briggs, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Terrapins shooting 44% from the field, 38% behind the three-point line. And as I mentioned, being out rebounded, 16 to the Hawks 23. Points from turnovers. This is where things have turned around just a little bit. The Hawks have scored 8 points off of Maryland turnovers. Maryland has scored 6 points, which they tamped that down. That was a first quarter stat. And then this is where things have turned around. Hawks have scored 26 points in the paint to Maryland's 18. 9 points off of second chance shots for the Hawks, 9 points off of fast breaks, and 6 points from the bench.
Iowa 52, Maryland 38. As the Bud Light postgame show rolls along, this is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Want to play an integral part in helping the Hawks win championships? Now is your chance to make a difference. Join the Swarm today and partner with Iowa football and the Iowa men's and women's basketball programs to serve charities in eastern Iowa. Your tax-deductible Swarm donation will compensate our Iowa student athletes for working to further the missions of local charities such as the United Way, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and more. Go to iowaswarm.com for more information and make Iowa athletics the place for our student athletes to experience the thrill of winning championships.
Watch the exciting Iowa women's basketball team play in the Big Ten tournament. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited has just a few rooms available at the Marquette Hotel in downtown Minneapolis. The hotel is located just a few blocks and within an easy walk to the Target Center. This package is 2-night hotel only on March 8th and 9th with an option to purchase additional nights. Go to duagency.com to book this official Hawkeye women's basketball package. Click on vacations and group travel. Don't miss Hawkeye women's basketball in the Big Ten tournament. duagency.com.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Every Hawkeye game is fun, but some seasons are just special, like sold out before it even starts special. But you can still be there to see it. Play the Hawkeye Gold Scratch ticket, and you can win a VIP game day experience to see Iowa women's basketball. The Countdown to Carver promotion from the Iowa Lottery is your chance to witness greatness and some really, really deep threes. To enter your ticket and see details, visit ialottery.com/VIP.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Iowa. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Welcome back to the Bud Light Halftime Show. Iowa 52, Maryland 38, and you can join the Iowa Lottery VIP Club and enter to win tickets to see sold out Hawkeye women's basketball with the Countdown to Carver promotion. Play Hawkeye Gold Scratch tickets today. Let's check the scoreboard. A stunner of sorts in Lincoln, Nebraska, as Rutgers gets their first Big Ten victory this year, defeating the Huskers 71-70. Iowa at Nebraska next weekend. Michigan wins by 5 over Penn State 80-75. Rutgers 71, Nebraska 70. Wow. In the top 25, number 19 Gonzaga 104, Pacific 39. 25 ranked Princeton 76, Brown 63. And the 23rd ranked West Virginia Mountaineers 76, BYU 69. Here, the Hawkeyes, who made 6 of their last 8 from the floor, lead it 52-38 at the half. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from the field.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
You might think Iowa grows corn, but the truth is, corn grows Iowa. While farmers work hard to grow the best crop, their Iowa corn checkoff investments are hard at work too. Opening local and global markets for corn and corn-fed products, educating drivers on unleaded 88 as the best fuel at the pump, finding new uses for corn, and sharing the farmer's story. Iowa corn farmers are backed by researchers, educators, market experts, and more. To keep corn growing Iowa.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Hawkeyes with their big lead of the game at 52-38. Got 26 points in the paint in the first 2 quarters. Outscored Maryland 27-19 after one. Won the second quarter 25-19. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. The Iowa City Area Sports Commission is responsible for our community being home to countless amateur sporting events and state tournaments, from state volleyball, wrestling, tennis, and much more. The Sports Commission generates significant annual economic impact while adding substantially to our quality of life. The Iowa City Area Sports Commission is a proud presenting sponsor of the University of Iowa Women's Athletics. Learn more at wegotnext.org. 23 from Clark, 12 from Molly Davis. Jakia Brown-Turner leads Maryland with 12. 52-38, third quarter coming your way next. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Did you know that UI ranks near the top of the EPA's Green Power Leaderboard, with 84% of our energy coming from renewable sources? Now you can be a part of the team that makes it happen. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, our partner in a collaborative, ENGIE North America, is now offering part-time, on-campus positions where you can get hands-on, career-inspiring experience in sustainable utility systems management. Check out the jobs and apply now at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. Melrose Meadows, voted Iowa City's best retirement community. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. And the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. Melrose Meadows, voted Iowa City's best retirement community. Garage, indoor pool, and more. Visit melrosemeadows.com for more information.
Capacity crowd inside the Xfinity Center gets ready for the third quarter. Iowa 52, Maryland 38. It will be Hawkeye basketball when we start play. Incidentally, Molly Davis with 12 points in the first two quarters. Her career high at Iowa is 18. That sensational game against Indiana back on the 13th of January. All five starters have scored for the Hawkeyes. Andy O'Grady with 6 off the Iowa bench. 7 players in the scorebook for Maryland. You know, against Indiana for the Terrapins, just got off to a poor start. Only shot 8 threes in the entire game. Sellers did not play. Indiana won that game 87-73, but Maryland got down 10 after the first quarter.
Yeah, it was definitely a competitive game. And again, it speaks to the strength of the Big Ten and how, well, as we just saw with or heard from Nebraska Rutgers, anything can happen on any given night.
Hawks shot 55% in the first two quarters. Can they keep it up? Here's Clark in the front court. Dishes to Martin, now in the corner. Right in front of the Iowa bench, Molly Davis being guarded by McDaniel. Davis gets into the paint, kicks it in the corner. Marshall, 12 to shoot, and Gabby tries to dribble it out near the logo and is tripped. And that'll be a Sellers foul, her first. Hawks will have it along the sideline on top by 14. Just underway third quarter. Clark out near midcourt. Briggs on her. Spins and then drops a pass inside perfectly. A bounce pass to Kate Martin.
It's like a telepathic connection between the two of them. I swear Caitlin Clark knew exactly what she was doing before Kate Martin got to where she was going.
Even one of the officials kind of raised her eyebrows. What a pass.
Yeah, what a fun play.
And then Maryland turns it over along the baseline. Iowa basketball, big lead of the ball game, 54-38. Clark across the timeline, full steam ahead, gives it to Stolke in the paint, has it blocked. Brown Turner saves it from going out of bounds and then knocked out of bounds by Hannah Stolke. Maryland basketball. Sellers across the timeline. We're 1 minute into the third quarter. Here's Brown Turner. Now Alexander right wing against Davis. Couldn't do anything with it. And then gets it back to Alexander. Now McDaniel tries to get it inside. She throws it away. Attempted to find Brown Turner. Stolke to Clark. Drives paint all the way to the rim. Layup good.
Caitlin Clark almost got it swiped away as she attacked the rim, but again, her control and her poise allowed her.
And McDaniel goes down the right side and kind of hooked arms with Molly Davis and hit the floor hard. They'll probably take a look at it, but Davis went right to her to pick her up. So nothing malicious done there. But Davis will pick up the foul. That'll be her second.
There's a timeout on the floor.
Oakdale's mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care, a not-for-profit life plan community serving the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oakdale is conveniently located near the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, and downtown Iowa City. A proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics and Hawk Talk every Monday night. Visit oakdale.com to learn more. We'll take a timeout as they review that play. 8:33 left to go in the third. Iowa 56, Maryland 38. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Want to play an integral part in helping the Hawks win championships? Now is your chance to make a difference. Join the Swarm today and partner with Iowa football and the Iowa men's and women's basketball programs to serve charities in eastern Iowa. Your tax-deductible Swarm donation will compensate our Iowa student athletes for working to further the missions of local charities such as the United Way, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and more. Go to iowaswarm.com for more information and make Iowa athletics the place for our student athletes to experience the thrill of winning championships. Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder and Fran McCaffrey this fall. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Just a regular foul as we anticipated. Didn't see anything on the replay, did the officials, as Iowa has scored the first 4 points in the quarter and have their big lead of 56-38. Clark with a hoop and Kate Martin also with a basket. Clark has 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Kate Martin has 7 boards to go along with her 6 points.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't say she's been quiet tonight, but, you know, offensively, 6 points. But she has been grinding it out defensively, cutting, setting screens, and then, of course, coming up with those 7 boards.
And rebounding course, has been so crucial for the Hawkeyes, and it's been very good this year. They're right around a plus 10 in that category and have 7 O boards tonight and have the rebounding advantage at 23-17.
Yeah, I mean, it is such and Coach Bluder, of all coaches, is one who's such a believer in the power of rebounding. We don't talk about it a ton, but it is a huge piece to this game. And especially with a physical team like Maryland, you got to keep them off the boards.
So Davis picks up her second. It's the team's first, so McDaniel will be at the line getting a pair. Tonight's game brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. McDaniel connects on the first. She had 15 and 5 against Indiana. Does a great job in transition where she gets the bulk of her points. Second one also good. First points of the quarter for Maryland. 8:30 left to go, third quarter. Iowa by 16. Big lead was 18. Here's Clark at the top of the key. Bounce pass inside to a cutting Molly Davis. Right-handed layup on the left side. 2 more for Molly Davis.
I guess tonight is the night of the backdoor cut and the pass from Caitlin Clark.
Really overplaying out on the perimeter. And a driving Cheyenne Sellers is fouled as she got into the paint.
Iowa foul, number 24, Gabby Marshall. That's her first.
First on Marshall. Second team foul in the quarter. And 2 shots for the leading scorer for the Terrapins. At 15-4, Cheyenne Sellers. First one is good. She has 5 points. Maryland, a good free throw shooting team at 78.5 on the year. Second one also good.
She's actually, Cheyenne Sellers is actually 3rd in free throw percentage in all of Maryland basketball. So she's a pretty strong shooter.
Martin, free throw line extended left, gets it out to Clark. In between the circles, long 3, rimming no. Rebound taken down by Lavender Briggs. Gets it to Sellers, the 6'2" point guard. Now in the corner, McDaniel makes her way to the rim. Scoop shot is up and good. Had the right English on it and was able to finish.
Yeah, that was a tough one to defend. She sort of flipped it up there and got it in despite being well guarded.
Lob pass into Stalky. It was knocked away. Actually, the pass hit the rim after it was touched, and Maryland digs it up and brings it into the front court. Iowa 58, Maryland 44, third quarter. Here's McDaniel trying to create some space. Jumper left wing, good. That's a 15-foot jumper. McDaniel with 12. Marshall gets it to Martin along the baseline. And a kick as she tried to get it into Hannah Stalky, and the Hawkeyes will have it. It'll be along the sideline, but almost in the corner. Davis throws it into Clark, who brings it out in between the circles. Now Stalky high post area. Reverse the ball to Gabby Marshall, 3-pointer short, deep in the right corner. And the ball tapped out of bounds by Hannah Stalky. It'll be Maryland basketball. O'Grady comes in for the first time in the third quarter for Stalky. And he had 6 in the first 2 quarters. 58-46. We're under 7. Maryland on a 6-0 run the last minute 13. Sellers angles left, now to McDaniel. She's kind of hunting her shot, brings it to the right side, pulls up her dribble. Bounce pass to Briggs, hesitates and knocks down a 15-foot jumper on the right wing. She has 6, had 10 and 5 boards against Indiana. Here's Molly Davis, 3, right wing short. Long rebound into the hands of Sellers. Quick trigger that time for the Hawkeyes. 10-point basketball game. 8-0 run Maryland. Get it into the paint, make that a 10-0 run as the layup is good by Cheyenne Sellers.
And again, you can see how quickly things change here. 10-0 run by Maryland. All of a sudden, it's an 8-point game. But the last time this happened, the Hawks called a timeout, gathered themselves, and came out and turned it around.
Exactly what Coach Bluder did as soon as Caitlin Clark got the ball across the timeline. Timeout, Hawkeyes with 6:12 left to go in the third. 8-point game, Iowa 58, Maryland 50. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Whether you're building a backyard fence for your family's new best friend or firing up the excavator for your next commercial project, a free and simple call can save you from expensive fines and even save your life. Call 811 at least 2 days before you start your next project to have underground utility lines located and marked. At Mid-American Energy, your safety is our #1 priority. So, make it your priority to call 811 before you dig. Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
McDaniel and Sellers have really got on track offensively here in the third quarter. Sellers now with 8 and McDaniel with 12. Both had 4 and 6 at halftime, respectively. Hawkeyes have not scored for the last 2 minutes and 9 seconds. And now Maryland has outscored the Hawkeyes in the third quarter 12-6. So Iowa's 18-point lead down to 8, but still a lead. And Tiffany, I asked Coach Bluder in the pregame show, part of the process here is kind of riding the ups and downs, the waves of a game that is going to happen against good basketball teams.
Yeah, when you watch good basketball teams play each other, it's just about who can keep control enough to get the victory. You're gonna have runs, you're gonna have slow parts to the game, but it's who can do the best despite that.
Hawkeye basketball brought to you by Mid-American Energy. Working together is how you win. That's why Mid-American Energy's roster of wind, solar, and other energy sources work together to keep your service safe and reliable 24/7. Learn more at midamericanenergy.com. So Davis, Clark, O'Grady, Kate Martin, and Gabby Marshall, the 5 for the Hawkeyes as we resume play with 6:12 left to go in the third. Hawks by 8 with the basketball. Here's Davis in between the circles to Martin. Fakes a 3, drives paint, lost control of the ball. She tried to make a spin move. That's happened to her a couple times tonight.
It has, and I actually thought she was open for that three-pointer.
Speaking of threes, a open Brown Turner buries one from the left wing. She has 15, and it's 58-55 Hawkeyes. Clark gets it to Martin. Right side, Marshall deep in the corner. Now back to Molly Davis. Keeps that left-handed dribble going. Now Kate Martin just right at the top of the key. Deep 3 for Caitlin Clark. Swishes it left to the top of the key.
Ice cold. Again, as the pressure mounts, she tends to rise to it.
And the answer by Brianne Alexander. Knocks down a 3 from the left corner. She has 12. 61-56, 5-point game, approaching 5 left to go in the third quarter. Here's Davis, free throw line extended right, looks inside, now gets it back to Clark. McDaniel on her. Clark spins 15 feet away, shot no good, missed it from the free throw line. Maryland with the rebound. Sellers across the timeline into the front court, hands it off to McDaniel, spins 15 feet away, drives in, layup good on the left side.
That was an incredible move. Gabby Marshall was there.
Lob pass intended for O'Grady underneath the basket, and Addie couldn't come up with it. Plenty of traffic there. It'll be Maryland basketball as Stolke replaces Addie O'Grady, 61-58. The Maryland crowd has come alive.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, this is just a stretch here again. 18-3 run by Maryland over the last 3.5 minutes. The Hawks have got to get a stop here and start to tamper this back down.
Alexander on the left wing. McDaniel in between the circles, guarded by Molly Davis. Hands it to Sellers at the elbow. She turns, looks at the hoop, and gives it off to Briggs. And a whistle 15 feet away before the shot went in. That's going to go against Sydney of Falter. That'll be her first. Third team foul of the quarter. Hawks still maintain a lead now, just 3 points. Here's McDaniel in the corner, drives baseline, up and under, move off the window, good. Took advantage of the smaller Molly Davis, and she's fouled.
She is absolutely in the zone and very difficult to guard, as we're seeing. Driving to the hoop, stepping through, up and unders, and then her strength makes it tough to guard her right now.
So that's 3 on Davis, and she'll come out of the game in favor of Kate Martin. Free throw for McDaniel. McDaniel can tie it with 4:17 left to go in the third, and she does.
And the crowd is absolutely going crazy right now.
Falter gets it to Martin. Back to a Falter, left wing, drives to the free throw line area, pulls it back out. Here's Marshall, right at the top of the key. Now Clark in between the circles, tries to make a move on McDaniel, gets into the corner, fadeaway three. That's an air ball, and Maryland digs up the rebound. Gets it to Sellers in the front court. Down court pass, layup good by Brown Turner. Maryland grabs the advantage by 2. Falter has the ball on the right wing, knocked away, and we're going to get a shove on Brenai Alexander. That is her first, the transfer from Vandy. Iowa will have the basketball along the sideline. 3:41 left to go in the third. The Hawkeyes down 2. We'll see how they handle this. It's now a 23-3 run the last 4.5. Falter in between the circles. Goes to the right side. Now Marshall fakes a 3. Now Martin, she'll fire a 3. No good up the left side of the iron. Brown Turner the rebound. Gets it ahead to McDaniel on the right wing. Scoops it to Brown Turner. Now back to Sellers. Bounce pass to Briggs. Gets into the paint. 15-foot jumper rimming no. Clark the rebound. Caitlin, full speed. Brings it into the front court, and a hold is called by Sellers. And that almost wasn't called as she just grabbed her wrist.
Yeah. And you can sense on their faces and demeanor the Hawks' frustrations right now. This is where they need to get a poker face on, kind of get it together, keep attacking the hoop. They've just sort of passed the ball laterally around the three-point arc the last 2 possessions. That's not gonna work right now.
Clark feeds it inside. Martin, a little high-low action. The pass from the free throw line, and Martin lays it up and in. We're tied at 63. Into the paint, on the move as Brown Turner goes up and is fouled by Hannah Stolke. Good strong drive by Brown Turner.
Yeah, she is really, her and Hannah Stolke are really a matchup. She is challenging Hannah tonight, and Hannah has sort of been quiet, a little less Hannah than we're used to, and I think it's because of her skill and her strength.
Free throw is good by Brown Turner. Hawkeyes have shot 1 free throw tonight. Second one in the air, got it. Maryland goes back up by 2. 2:43 left to go in the third quarter. Here's Gabby Marshall on the right wing. Looks inside. Now takes a couple of dribbles. Brings it out front. Now Clark in between the circles. McDaniel comes out on her. Now to Martin. High post area. Drives down the right side. Spins. Paint. Shot. Rimming. No. Got a good look.
Great look.
Sellers the rebound into the front court. Hesitates. Drives down the left side. Left-handed layup. No good. Ball tapped out of bounds almost, but then dug up by Gabby Marshall, who gets it to Clark barely, almost a steal. Numbers for the Hawkeyes. Clark, paint, drops it off. Stalky goes up strong. There's a whistle and a foul on the Terrapins.
I like Caitlin Clark's decision there to take the ball to the rim, pass off to Stolke, get the foul, get the Hawks to the free throw line. I think at this point they need to keep trying to penetrate the lane and get those high percentage shots.
2 shots for Hannah Stolke. Brown Turner picks up her second. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, has been voted best of the area for the 10th consecutive year. Proudly supports Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball. Trust Dodge Street Tire for honest auto repair and the best deals on Goodyear and Toyo tires. Dodge Street Tire and Auto, locally owned and operated, celebrating over 30 good years on the corner of Dodge and Church Streets. Stalky misfires on the first attempt, a little bit strong. Maryland by 2. 2:08 left to go, third quarter. Second is good. Rolled around and went through. Stalky with 5. That's her first point in the third quarter. Sellers walks it across the timeline. We have exactly 2 minutes left to go. Here's a quick trigger three-pointer right wing. No good by Alexander. Weak side rebound to Gabby Marshall. Hands it off to Caitlin Clark, who brings it in the front court. Free throw line extended right. Caitlin spins, gets into the paint, lost control of the ball, and right into the hands of Hannah Stalky, who grabbed it and laid it up and in.
Whew, she got it, scored, we're all good. We're just going to ignore the little bobble part before that.
Hawks regain the lead by 1. 1:30 left to go in the third. Here's a medium-range jumper. McDaniel, no good from the free throw line. Hawks with the rebound. Here's Clark in the front court on the right wing. Caitlin drives in, hesitates, no good. And Stalky gets the rebound, kicks it out to Martin. Now to Caitlin Clark for 3. Swish from the right wing.
Big time shot. Big time shot for Caitlin Clark. Started with the rebound by Hannah Stolke.
And a wild three-pointer by Alexander on the left wing. No good. Went off the window. Hawks get the rebound. Clark, lob pass inside. Stolke gathers, goes up, and finishes with the layup.
There we go.
Hawks on a run of their own, a 6-0 run. The last minute and 12 make that now a 12-0 run. 30-second timeout taken by Maryland with 56.5 left to go in the third. Hawks back on top by 6.
Ebbs and flows, Rob. Ebbs and flows. And in a game like this, I mean, this is why the world loves to watch this team and hopefully listening and watching on TV, but it is fun to be a part of this game.
Maryland has missed their last 5 field goal attempts and have not had a field goal made the last 253. You can earn $250 when you open an eligible checking account at the Tiffin branch or online. Get rewarded for banking with Farmers State Bank. Visit myfsbonline.com for complete details. Subject to approval, minimum $50 deposit. Requires e-statements and direct deposit. Member FDIC. Terrific run by the Hawkeyes. Maryland basketball. 71-65, Iowa by 6. Sellers brings it across the timeline with 45 seconds left to go. Third quarter action. Hawkeyes come out in a zone defense. Here's Sellers on the right wing, drives, and then drops it off for Briggs at the top of the key. Couple feet left of that, 6 to shoot, and a hold is going to be called on Sydney Folter from the backside official.
Yeah, that was kind of a ticky-tack foul is what I'd call it. I don't know that it needed to be called, but it was.
That's her second. And that will send Brown Turner to the free throw line with 32.8 left in the third quarter. She's going to try to cut into that 6-point Hawkeye lead. In the air, no good. Came off the left side. Maryland doesn't put anybody on the line during a free throw.
Yes.
They're all at the timeline or in the backcourt. Second one good. That's 20 for Brown Turner. She averages 12.7. About 3 seconds. That's the differential. Shot clock, game clock as we wind things down in the third quarter, 71-66. Clark will just hang out near the timeline. McDaniel on her. Caitlin takes a look at the shot clock. The Hawks like to go with about 7 left to go. There's 7. Left side Davis, back to Clark. Drives down the right side of the lane, muscles her way up, and a whistle. And this will go against the Terrapins. If it's on Cheyenne Sellers, that is her third. Sydney Falter comes back for Molly Davis. Kylie Feuerbach will come in.
And Coach Freeze will have to decide if she's going to keep Sellers out on the court with 3 or play it out at this point.
Clark makes the first free throw. 4.3 left to go in the third. 72-66. Hawks on top. Withstood a huge run by Maryland. Second one, good. 33 for Clark. Feuerbach comes in just to give Caitlin a couple extra seconds to rest. Get ready for the fourth quarter. In the backcourt, Sellers. 3, crosses the timeline, angles right side. Desperation 3, no good, off the left side of the window. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. So Maryland missed their last 5 from the floor. Did not score a field goal the last 3:47. Nothing decided yet. We will head to the fourth quarter. Iowa 73, Maryland 66. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hey Hawkeyes, while your hard-at-working class are on the court, there's a team behind the scenes making sure that the power keeps going, the water keeps flowing, and the temps inside are just right. Introducing the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative. The collaborative is a public-private partnership between UI, NG, and Meridium. It delivers the funds UI needs to drive our academic and research excellence while optimizing campus utilities for a generation to come. Check it out at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin, and if you want your home to be exceptionally comfortable during these cold Iowa winters and hot, humid summers, you need to turn to Dave Lennox and your local Lennox home comfort specialist. Lennox has been serving Iowa consumers since 1895, when Dave Lennox built his first furnace in Marshalltown, and Lennox is still building its high-efficiency furnaces and air conditioners there today. For the best home comfort system you can buy, it's Lennox and your local Lennox dealer. Lennox and the Hawkeyes. Now there's a winning combination.
So Maryland with a very good third quarter got back into the game, and it's 73-66 in favor of the Hawkeyes, but Maryland outscored Iowa 28-21 in that third quarter. And the key thing, Tiffany, what was it, 23-3 at one time, the run by Maryland, but then the Hawkeyes got an 8-0 run of their own, which was much needed to gain that confidence and regain the lead heading into the final 10 minutes.
Exactly, and again, it's just tamping it down, getting it in control, and chipping back. They never lost. No, they did lose the lead. They got down by a couple of points, but they were able to regain it. I think also, you know, Maryland in the third quarter shot 60% from the field and 40% behind the three-point line. The Hawks were 47% from the field, which isn't terrible, but 28%. They shot 7 3-pointers. So it's just, again, rough quarter for the Hawks, extraordinary quarter for Maryland, but the Hawks did enough to stay standing.
Clark with 33 and 8 assists. March is a great time to schedule your vasectomy. This March, get benched and recover in front of the TV. Schedule your appointment now. Visit uihc.org/appointment. If you or someone you know needs support now, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org. 4 players scored in the third quarter for the Hawkeyes. Clark, of course, with 10 in the quarter, 33 for the game. Molly Davis had a field goal. She has 14. Hannah Stalkey came alive.
She did.
Had 4 at the half, 9 for the ball game. And Kate Martin, a couple of field goals. She has 8. So here we go for the final 10 minutes of regulation. Iowa 73, Maryland 66. Lisa Bluder trying to win in this building for the first time in her tremendous coaching career. Never easy.
No, not in this environment.
And the Hawkeyes haven't been this close in the fourth quarter for a long time. The average loss for the Hawkeyes here the last several times has been over 20. A layup by Brown Turner after a nice move. The shot comes off the left side of the iron and goes out of bounds underneath. Hawkeye basketball.
And again, in a game like this, with a score like this, every one of those defensive stops is really important at this point.
Here's Kate Martin in the front court on the left wing. Marshall gets the ball to Caitlin Clark. Now at the free throw line. Martin back to Clark. 3-pointer in the air, no good. Battle for the rebound. Stalkey kept it alive. Martin came away with it. Now to Davis. Gets a pass inside to Stalkey. She's triple teamed. Gets it out to Martin. Now cross court pass left wing. Davis. 8 to shoot. Here's Clark, top of the key. Tries to knife her way inside. And a little bit late getting the pass inside to Martin. That's a Hawkeye turnover. McDaniel gets it to Sellers. Bounce pass inside to Brown Turner. Easy layup on the right side. And Brown Turner has 22. 73-68. Marshall deep in the corner. Bounce pass inside Kate Martin. One dribble goes up. Couldn't finish. Stalkey comes down with the rebound. Has it knocked away from her and out of bounds. And touched last by Maryland. Iowa basketball on the baseline. On top by 5. Just underway in the fourth quarter. Clark will throw it in. Does to Stalkey on the left wing. Back to Clark. Now inside. Martin goes up strong. And a whistle underneath and a charge will be called on Kate Martin. That'll be her first. Maryland basketball. Sellers walks it across the timeline. Uses her right hand to point out the play. Now angles left side. She's free throw line extended. Gets it to Briggs at the elbow. She drives down the left side, goes up. Contact with Caitlin Clark, and she will shoot 2. That's the first foul on Clark. Sydney Falter will enter the game. Kate Martin will sit down. Second team foul in the quarter. And Lavender Briggs at the free throw line. Fourth leading scorer for Maryland. And this one hits hard off the left side of the iron. No good. 73-68, 8:25 left to go fourth quarter. Briggs second is good. She has 7. Transfer from Florida. And the Hawks get it into the front court. A Falter in between the circles. Feeds Davis left side. Now Clark coming off a screen, has the ball, drives down the left side, probes, pulls up her dribble, tries to get it inside. Stalkey does. She's doubled. Now in the corner, Molly Davis for 3. No good. Skipped off the front of the iron. Rebound to Briggs. Now McDaniel at the elbow. Sees an opening. Drives in. And a charge will be called. She made the layup, but then coming over was Gabby Marshall. And now are they calling a block on Gabby Marshall? She gave the charge sign. Did the official underneath? So now it's the second foul on Marshall. Boy, initially made that charge call underneath.
Forcefully, I mean.
So that'll put McDaniel at the free throw line after the blocking foul on Gabby Marshall. The shot counted. The layup was good, but she missed the free throw. 19 for McDaniel. Here's Clark for three, right wing rimming no. Stalky the rebound in the paint, kicks it back out to Davis. She drives, scoop shot, paint no good. Ball tapped out by Stalky, but in the hands of McDaniel. She's on the move. Shot is blocked, but contact underneath, and the foul will go against Kate Martin. Hawks by 2, 7:33 left to go.
Yeah, Kate Martin was kind of on the defensive end in a tough position there. The speed at which...
That was full speed there.
So that was almost hard to avoid the foul unless you were down.
Just to let her go.
Yeah.
So McDaniel will be at the line. She'll get a pair. She is 8 out of 11 from the floor. And now 3 of 5 from the line. This one short.
Yeah, we've gotten a little bit lucky. The Hawks have that we've seen some missed free throws from Maryland.
Been about 50% the last 3 trips. Hawks by 2. McDaniel can cut it to 1, and she does. That's 20 for Bree McDaniel to go along with Brown Turner with 22. Those have been the 2 big scores for Maryland. Iowa by 1 with the basketball. McDaniel a couple steps in the backcourt, waiting for Caitlin Clark. Clark dribbles behind her back in between the circles, now gets it to Kate Martin, and she drives from the free throw line, puts it up and in off the window, and is fouled by Brown Turner. That's her 3rd. What a acrobatic move by Kate Martin.
Huge basket. And what Kate is doing so well tonight is trying to get and break. Right now, Maryland's playing a stretched out matchup zone. And Kate is trying to penetrate out and puncture that zone, and just did it very well. Got the 3-point play on that.
Swishes the free throw, and the Hawks go back up by 4. That's usually the opening in a stretch zone defense, is the free throw line. Now McDaniel gets into the paint, tried to pass it underneath the basket. It's stolen away by Kate Martin. Left-handed pass to Caitlin Clark. Now to Marshall, left side 3, no good. Molly Davis, a tough rebound on the weak side. Gets it out to Hannah Stalky. The Hawks will reset. We have 7 left to go in the ballgame. Clark on the right wing against McDaniel. McDaniel knocks it out of her hands and out of bounds. It'll be Iowa basketball along the sideline. Hawks by 4. Clark in between the circles after the Hawks get it in. Now to Kate Martin in the corner. Gabby Marshall fakes a 3. Now back to Kate. Course pass to Molly Davis. Has to throw it up as the shot clock was to expire. And Hawks didn't get anything on that possession. Sellers with the rebound. Drives down in the paint. Scoop shot is up and good with the left hand off the window. Took it coast to coast. She has 10. Hawks quickly down court. Marshall rolls a pass inside Kate Martin along the baseline. Now to Clark. Fakes a 3 at the elbow. Now right side, Gabby Marshall for 3. A little bit strong off the window. And on the rebound, a foul will go against Kate Martin. That'll be her 3rd. Hawks by 2. Had some good looks there at the 3-point arc.
Yeah, Gabby Marshall is wide open right now, so she's the one that is getting the shot. Missed the last couple, but again, keep shooting. We know that she's perfectly capable.
She's 1 for 5 from 3-point range, but was 4 for 5 last time out against the Northwestern Wildcats. Sellers at the free throw line. First one is good. And she can tie the basketball game if she makes this one. Second one in the air, got it. A falter. Back in the game for the Hawkeyes for Gabby Marshall. Sellers asking the crowd to get into it. They respond.
For sure.
Clark in the backcourt, tied at 76. Maryland has made their last 3 field goals, but the Hawks have the basketball. A Falter on the right wing. Looks inside, now gets it to Martin at the high post area. Fakes a 17-foot jumper. Gets it back out to Clark. Fakes a 3. Couple of dribbles. 3-pointer. Got it. Left to the top of the key. Clark with 36.
Just what we needed to kind of calm that crowd down.
Now Brown-Turner for 3, left wing, no. Ball bounced around and grabbed by Molly Davis. 15 feet away, she grabbed that basketball and made sure nobody was going to take it away from her.
Rebounding is making the difference in this game tonight, I'll tell you that.
Clark whips a pass inside to a wide open Sydney Falter, and she lays it up and in for her first basket. Hawks by 4, 5:20 left to go. Maryland quickly down court, and now will set up against the Hawkeye zone. McDaniel, right wing, drives in, drops it off. Shot is no good. Briggs missed a layup. Hawks got away with one.
Blessing, that was a blessing.
Clark across the timeline, drives, paint, scoop shot. Addie O'Grady, left-handed layup, no. Addie got her own rebound, and now looks for Sydney Falter. A Falter on the left wing. Dribbles to the high post area, and now a blocking foul is going to be called. And that'll be 4 if it goes against Sellers. So that'll be 4 on the talented point guard of Maryland, who has 12 points. Had 4 at the half. And that was one of those block charges that you weren't sure about.
The way that the game's been called tonight, I was certain they were going to call that a charge, but we will take it, especially to get a 4th foul on Cheyenne Sellers. She's going to have to play tentative, and she's had a good game tonight. She's definitely below her average, but she's definitely their court leader. So to get her out of the game would be huge.
4:51 left to go in regulation. Iowa 81, Maryland 76. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder and Fran McCaffrey this fall. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here.
Our mission at Oak Knoll is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, CEO. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served the Iowa City area for 57 years. Oak Knoll is located near University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, Kinnick Stadium, Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hancher Auditorium, and downtown Iowa City. Visit our website at oakknoll.com to learn more. We're a proud sponsor of Hawkeye Athletics. Go Hawks!
You're listening to coverage of Hawkeye women's basketball, powered by the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, empowering Hawkeyes to do energy right.
Maryland has shot 18 free throws tonight, made 13. The Hawkeyes have been to the line just 6 times, 5 out of 6. Let's talk offensive rebounding, as the Hawkeyes have an 81-76 advantage. 13 O-boards for the Hawkeyes against Maryland, who has 5, and traditionally has been a very good rebounding team, and they've out-rebounded their opponents by a couple this year.
Yeah, and of our 13 offensive rebounds, Hannah Stolke has 6. 6 of her 7 rebounds are offense. And as we've seen, particularly here in the 4th quarter, those have been huge. Those have resulted in an entirely another possession for the Hawks, another opportunity to score and take some time off the clock.
Hannah's got 9 and 7. And with those 6 offensive boards, how many tap-outs to keep the ball alive that Iowa has ended up scoring on.
For sure, and we've seen her jumping ability and her, again, like you said, ability to tap that ball out. Maybe doesn't get credited for the rebound, but definitely kept the ball in the Hawkeyes' hands.
And that just kind of leads to second chance opportunities, which Iowa has 12 points off second chance opportunities. Maryland just 4. Maryland has outscored the Hawkeyes in the fourth 10-8, but the Hawkeyes lead it on the scoreboard with 4:51 left to go, 81-76. Hawk fans throughout the season, join Coach Bluder and me for Hawk Talk presented by Oakdale at the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. Hawk Talk with Coach Bluder takes place from 6 until 7. We will be there Monday night. We certainly welcome you to come on, and we were hoping about discussion on 2 big road victories this week.
Oh, yeah.
So Martin, a Falter, O'Grady, Clark, and Davis. Brown, Turner, McDaniel, Sellers, Briggs, and Masonis for Maryland. Hawkeyes get it in. Do so to O'Grady. Now back to Clark on the right wing, and a logo 3 right side, rimming no. Sydney Falter grabs the rebound, brings it out to the left side. Hawks will reset.
Another offensive rebound.
Now Clark tried to get it inside. Too hard of a pass for O'Grady to gather as the spacing wasn't there. And Sellers brings it into the front court for the Maryland Terrapins. She gets it back and now will fire a long 2 from the right wing and knock it down. Sellers with 14, and it's a 1-possession game. Hawkeyes lead 81-78. We approach 4 left to go. Here's Davis. Martin, high post area, fakes, drives down the left side. Her left-handed shot is blocked. Sellers digs up the rebound, brings it across the timeline, keeps her dribble going, gets into the paint, pulls up now. Right side, McDaniel makes a spin move, gets into the paint. Little awkward shot is up, no good. O'Grady the rebound. She has it swatted away and then gets it back. And it looks like a pushing foul will be called on Maryland's Bree McDaniel. Boy, you've got to be strong with the ball, especially after a rebound when you face Maryland.
Yeah, and McDaniel got in there and kind of swiped it away. Again, Addie O'Grady has 7 rebounds, so she's been strong grabbing the boards, but they are so quick and fast and strong that they'll come swipe it the drop of a dime.
Here's a Falter in the front court on the left wing. Bounce pass to the high post area to Martin. She turns and faces the hoop. Now back to a Falter. Plays catch with Martin. Now to Clark on the right side. 2 dribbles and feeds a Falter for 3 left wing. Count it! All net for Sydney Falter.
Big dog, Sid Falter, a huge 3 for her. Again, she's not a huge 3-point shooter, and she's doing it when she needs to do it the most.
Boy, did the Hawks need that. 84-78, 3:15 left to go. Here's Brown Turner in the paint. Now Masonis kicks it left side. Briggs for 3, and she swishes that. Give her 2. Foot was on the line.
Ooh, that's a disappointment. That's when you're Maryland saying you don't want shots like that they're going to give you the 2 when it should have been a 3.
Hawks by 4 with the basketball. We're under 3. Martin in between the circles. A Falter. Free throw line extended left. Now back to Davis. Lob pass to Martin at the free throw line. Tried to get it inside to Stalky, and that's a turnover. The ball batted away and then kicked in the backcourt by a Falter. Too many turnovers for the Hawkeyes. Need to take care of it here down the stretch. For sure.
Again, this 1-3-1 sort of stretched out zone that Maryland plays is tricky, and they're trying to get the ball to Kate Martin at the free throw line, maybe a step or 2 above. Kate didn't have the angle on that pass. She kind of straight on tried to pass it into Stolke. Didn't work. Got to keep working that ball around.
14 turnovers for the Hawkeyes. Sellers left wide open 3-pointer. Strong off the iron. Weak side board to Caitlin Clark. Hawks got away with one there too.
They did, and I like right now that Caitlin Clark is just slowly bringing the ball up the court, being smart.
And now she gets in the paint. Dumps it off for Molly Davis on the left wing. Hawks by 4 with the ball. Sydney Falter drives down the left side. Stops. Now back to Kate Martin for 3. Rimming. No. Falter the rebound though. And pulls it back out on the right wing.
Wow. Huge rebound.
2 minutes exactly left to go. Pass inside. Martin lays it up and in. A great find again by Caitlin Clark.
Clark to Martin. Nothing better. Nothing better.
Boy, we've said that a few times tonight. Clark to Martin. Hawks by 6. Three-pointer left wing. Alexander skipped off the left side of the iron. A falter, the rebound. 1:35 left to go. Iowa by 6 with the basketball. Clark will walk it into the front court.
The Hawks have the advantage here. They need to be smart, get a good shot.
Boy, a basket here would go a long way to victory. Wouldn't seal it, but it would help. Stuelke comes out for a screen. Clark pulls up her dribble, kicks it left side. A falter, 3, rimming, no. Rebound lost and out of bounds underneath by Alexander. Nobody around her.
No,
Hawkeye basketball.
I will say that Hannah Stuelke again kind of got in there and tapped the ball, and I think just kind of threw off Maryland enough that they tapped it out of bounds.
So 20 on the shot clock. Iowa by 6, 1:10 remaining. Clark will throw it in on the baseline. Clark looks, needs to get it in. Bounce pass to Kate Martin on the right wing. Now to Davis, out near the M logo. Molly brings it to the left side. Now free throw line extended. Kate Martin off to Clark, coming off a screen for 3. A little bit strong. A falter, another offensive board. Hawks will reset with 52 seconds left to go. Still with a 6-point advantage. Now here's Clark, drives down the left side, bounce pass Stuelke. She's tied up, somehow gets it to Molly Davis for 3. Count it! Molly Davis, a huge 3 from the right wing.
Wow! What an offensive play by the Hawkeyes, finding Molly Davis, ice in her veins, draining the 3-point shot.
And how about those O-boards?
I mean, come on, Sydney, a falter. Coming up with 3 O-boards in the last, I don't know, minute and a half. Huge.
Maryland takes timeout with 40.2 left to go. Well, we thought the Hawkeyes needed to somehow get past that 6-point lead, and they were able to do it. Now lead 89-80. And how about Molly Davis, who had 12 in the first 2 quarters, has 17 now. That's 1 away from her career high at Iowa. And credit the Hawkeyes, too, defensively, a scoring drought of 228 for Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've just kind of taken Maryland out of their game here in the last couple minutes. Again, this game is just so wild because earlier on in this quarter, it was all Maryland.
Hawkeyes are shooting 46.8%, 48.4% for Maryland. Hawks have made 12 threes, 33 attempts. Maryland, 7 of 21 in that category. But it's been the 17 offensive rebounds for the Hawkeyes that's been the top storyline.
Absolutely, and the Hawks are out rebounding Maryland overall 46-29. I mean, that's a difference maker in this game. Bottom line, and of course, if you want to break it down further, those offensive rebounds.
Well,
huge.
The Hawkeyes have had 77 field goal attempts to 62 for Maryland. Not done yet. Maryland gets it in. Hawkeyes on top by 9. 3-pointer right wing. That's an air ball. Alexander. Rebound putback attempt by McDaniel. No good. And the ball is tapped out of bounds. And I think they're unsure of who touched it last. So the officials will take a look.
And
I
continue.
think one official said that she had Maryland basketball, and the other 2 said, hey, we need to take a look at this. So that's exactly what 2 of the 3 officials are doing right now. And it looks like it's going to be Maryland basketball. That was the initial indication, but they continue to look. 89-80. Hawkeyes on top with 32.5 left to go. Trying to win in this building for the first time since Maryland entered the Big Ten. And now they will reverse it and say Iowa basketball.
I like that call. I'm sure the coaches
You talk
do
about
as well.
indecision. One official said Maryland. The other one came over and said, well, it looks like Maryland basketball. And then they took another look, a deeper look, and now it's Iowa basketball.
And of course, at this point, Maryland has to put on the full court press.
And do you have to foul if you're Maryland here? And then Lisa Bluder calls timeout just to make sure that they're able to get the ball in. Nothing open initially. 30-second timeout, Hawkeyes.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the stat line as we go into our second timeout, and Caitlin Clark has 12 assists tonight, which is incredible. Of course, along with her 36 points. Kate Martin too, 13 points and 9 rebounds. Just some really gutsy performances.
So the Big Ten's all-time leading scorer, Clark now has her 55th career double-double.
Just 55.
And she has, how many boards? 6 boards. Kate Martin has 9 rebounds.
Yep.
And Hannah Skalke 8, as you mentioned. So Kate Martin will throw it in. Now as Iowa gets to advance the ball in the front court. Bounce pass to Clark, and she's immediately fouled, and that's what you have to do if you're Maryland with 31.8 left to go. McDaniel the foul. And that'll send Caitlin Clark to the free throw line. And Addie O'Grady in the game. Actually, they have some fouls to give. So Martin gets it back into Clark, and an immediate foul by Briggs. And now we'll be at the free throw line for Caitlin Clark, trying to improve on her 36 points tonight. Skalke back in for Addie O'Grady. Clark at the line this evening, 3 out of 3. This is only the 7th free throw attempted by Iowa tonight.
Which is very, very rare for the Hawks. They are usually getting themselves to the line quite a bit.
First one good, and that gives the Hawkeyes a 10-point advantage at 90-80. The Hawkeyes shot 26 free throws against Northwestern Wednesday. Second one, Clark buries that, 38 for Clark. And timeout Maryland to advance the basketball. But the Hawkeyes with an 11-point lead. 7-0 run for the Hawks, the last minute 28. Good time to do it. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You are listening to Iowa Hawkeye Women's Basketball. So Maryland 0 for their last 4. They have not scored for the last 239, but will have the ball in the front court. Hawks will play defense, on top by 11 with 30.1 seconds left to go. Hawks looking for victory number 10 in the Big Ten this year. And remember, Ohio State and Indiana play tomorrow. So Hawks win here, be tied with one or the other. Here's McDaniel slicing down the lane. Her scoop shot with the right hand is no good, but we have a foul. Contact by Hannah Skalke. That'll be 3 on her. 25.6 left to go. Free throws for Maryland. The one thing you want, if you're Iowa, is to keep that clock ticking.
Yes, for sure. Just keep it moving.
McDaniel fell awkwardly, so she's limping a little bit, but still will be able to shoot the free throws. O'Grady comes in for Hannah Skalke. First free throw is good. Rolls in. McDaniel with 21. Averages 12.8. Second leading scorer for the Terrapins. Knocks down the second. Hawks with a long down-court pass, retrieved by Clark. Missed the layup. And kind of smiles about it.
She can laugh about that at this point in the game.
Brown-Turner gets it to McDaniel for three, right side, rimming no. Weak side board to Kate Martin, and she is fouled with 11.6 left to go. 91-82. Other than that would have been 40 on the night.
Yeah.
She made a great catch. Great catch over the shoulder like a wide receiver. And just didn't have a great angle on it, and just fell off the irons.
You know, she had 7 3-pointers. I think we can give her a pass on that.
I think so. So Kate Martin at the free throw line. And this rolls around and drops in. Kate with 14. Kylie Fierbach in for Caitlin Clark, but can't do it until the next free throw attempt. Martin's second, swish. Kate with 15. And Caitlin Clark will come out with 38 points in a victory in College Park. 93-82. Sellers drops it off to Alexander. Now back to Sellers, three-pointer right wing, skipped off the left side of the iron. Ball goes out of bounds and touched last by Maryland, but it will not matter. Get it in, and Brown-Turner knocks down a three-pointer right in front of the Maryland bench with .7. Hawks get it in, and Iowa does it. A building that has not been friendly to the Iowa Hawkeyes, and Lisa Bluder is friendly tonight as the Hawkeyes win it 93-85. Coach Bluder and Brenda Freese embrace at midcourt, and 38 from Caitlin Clark, and there are other superstars tonight too, because it takes more than one to win on this court, as the Hawkeyes did tonight, and now push their record to 21-2 and 10-1 in Big Ten play. Hard fought, back and forth, but the Hawks were in control at the end and win it 93-85. Stick around for the postgame show. We'll have interviews and highlights after the Hawkeyes, in front of a sold-out Xfinity Center, defeat Maryland 93-85. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that UI ranks near the top of the EPA's Green Power Leaderboard, with 84% of our energy coming from renewable sources? Now you can be a part of the team that makes it happen. The University of Iowa Energy Collaborative, our partner in a collaborative, ENGIE North America, is now offering part-time, on-campus positions where you can get hands-on, career-inspiring experience in sustainable utility systems management. Check out the jobs and apply now at uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
On the Hawkeye Sports Network from Learfield, this is the Iowa Soybean Association postgame show, delivering solutions for every life, every day. Hawkeye basketball is brought to you by U.S. Bank, proud to support Iowa basketball. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Also by United Healthcare, proud sponsors of Small Business Spotlight. Sign up your small business at HawkeyeSports.com/UHC. Once again, here's Rob Brooks.
In front of 17,950, the Hawks do it for the first time in Maryland in the Lisa Bluder era, 93-85. Iowa is now 36-4 in Big Ten games since February 9th of 2022 and 16-5 in its last 21 road games. And this is the first time that Iowa has won in Maryland at College Park since the 92-93 season. Now that's, not 15 or 16. It's not an every year thing.
Correct.
But it is the first time in College Park since the Hawkeyes have won here. And Kate Martin got into double figures now for the 15th time in her last 19 games and was sensational down the stretch.
Yeah, Kate had 15 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Was really able to kind of do it all tonight, and again was just so effective in that stretched out zone that Maryland was playing. Of course, the Hawks led by Caitlin Clark, 38 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds. Almost had 40, missed a layup there in the last second.
And was smiling about it.
Yes, laughing about it. Molly Davis dazzled tonight, 17 points, 4 rebounds. Hannah Stolke, after a slow first half, really came out strong in the second, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Gabby Marshall, 3 points, 3 rebounds. Sydney Falter, 5 points, 6 rebounds. 3 of those offensive boards came at the most critical point in the game. And Addison O'Grady, 6 points, 7 rebounds herself in 14 minutes of play. Overall, the Hawks again out-rebounded Maryland 48-32, 17 offensive boards to Maryland 7. Maryland led by Jakia Brown-Turner, 25 points, 9 rebounds. Followed by Cheyenne Sellers, 14 points, 7 rebounds. Brene Alexander, 12 points. Lavender Briggs, 9 points, 7 rebounds, and Bree McDaniel with 22 points. The Terrapins shot 46% from the field, 32% behind the three-point line. Iowa shot 46% from the field, 36% behind the three-point line. Some key things here. Iowa scored 44 points in the paint, 17 second chance shots from them, obviously coming from their offensive board, and 11 points for the Hawkeyes compared to Maryland's 3 off the bench.
44 points in the paint, and you mentioned the second chance points, huge for the Hawkeyes, and Iowa did get 11 points off the bench, and remember had an 18-point lead early in the third quarter at the 8:39 mark, and then Maryland went on that a 23-3 run, got right back into it, but then the Hawks went on an 8-0 run, and Tiffany, as this game kind of went back and forth at times, Iowa still led for 32 minutes and 31 seconds and won 3 of the 4 quarters.
Right. Besides that stretch, that I think it was the 11-0 run in the first quarter, and then was it a 13-0 run or stretch in the third quarter? Besides those 2 big runs by Maryland, I do feel like Iowa was mostly in control, confidently throughout the entire game. And they, again, withstood those runs by Maryland, which is the mark of a very talented team.
And how about that Sydney Fulter three-pointer from the left wing? Well, that was huge.
Huge. And that is the thing that's going to take Iowa back to the national championship. When Sydney Fulter can step up and hit three-pointers in a place like this, in pressure like that, that's the thing. That's the X factor, is the big threes by Sid or Molly Davis over on the right side of the court. We know Caitlin Clark's going to show up every night, and of course she did. And we know Kate Martin's going to show up every night. It's those other players stepping up at the pivotal moments. It's going to take Iowa, again, back to that national championship game.
2 double-doubles tonight. Caitlin Clark with 38 and 12 assists, and Kate Martin with 15 points and 10 rebounds, her 5th career double-double and 3rd of the season. Postgame stats report has been brought to you by Hy-Vee. You can score big savings with the all-new, totally free Hy-Vee Perks membership. Iowa wins it 93-85. The score by quarters for you: Iowa won the first quarter 27-19, the second 25-19, and then Maryland made its push in the third quarter, won that 10-minute frame 28-21, and then the Hawkeyes by 1 in the fourth, 20-19, equals a 93-85 victory, Iowa over Maryland. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from their field.
Hawk fans, stop in and visit the newly renovated guest rooms at Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, located in the heart of Iowa River Landing. Stay within walking distance of Extreme Arena, home of the Iowa Hawkeye volleyball team, as well as great restaurants, shopping, and scenic walking trails along the Iowa River. Hyatt Regency Coralville is also the home of Hawk Talk with Lisa Bluder and Fran McCaffrey this fall. Come together at Hyatt Regency Coralville, where everything you need is right here. Do you want to play an integral part in helping the Hawks win championships? Now is your chance to make a difference. Join the Swarm today and partner with Iowa football and the Iowa men's and women's basketball programs to serve charities in eastern Iowa. Your tax-deductible Swarm donation will compensate our Iowa student athletes for working to further the missions of local charities such as the United Way, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and more. Go to iowaswarm.com for more information and make Iowa athletics the place for our student athletes to experience the thrill of winning championships.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Did you know that UI uses the same amount of energy as all the rest of Iowa City? That's why we have our own power plant, and we're committed to making it clean. By 2025, we'll rely completely on climate-friendly, alternative fuels. Deep in the boiler rooms, engineers from the University of Iowa Energy Collaborative are optimizing the power plant so it can handle these new fuels more efficiently. Learn more about it at uiowaenergycollaborative.com. That's uiowaenergycollaborative.com.
Welcome to the Iowa Soybean Association postgame show, delivering opportunities and results for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers.
Welcome back to College Park as the Hawkeyes defeat the Maryland Terrapins 93-85. Had a 18-point lead in the third quarter and led for 32 minutes and 31 seconds. You hear Jan Jensen settling in here on the post-game show, and wow, that was quite a ride, wasn't it?
Well, you know, we talked about, you know, we bent and we didn't break, and it reminded me of Ohio State. Right? We were there, and then we held, and they made a run, and we held, and then went to overtime. But this one, I was so thankful when, we lost, even the first half, right? And then the second half, that was when it got a little bit dicey. But, we held. And there were so many things that you could just see. We shot too fast, really blew some defensive assignments, some not great decisions. But we didn't really disintegrate and totally, go off the rails. So to be able to do that in another environment that is, we had a lot of great Hawkeye fans, but the Terps fans were great and loud. So there's a lot to dissect what went wrong in that third quarter, but what went right is that we won the game. And when you're coming in like really marked like we are, boy, we're going to have to figure some things out, but I'm very pleased that we found a way. Because, few people do. Few people have won up until this year. And they actually have come back like they did in the third quarter for every team. Indiana was up 22, and they cut it to 6. So it's not an unusual pattern. You just hate when it happens to you.
The rebounding, 17 offensive rebounds. You out-rebound Maryland 48-32. And the tip-outs and the keeping the ball alive, and then you have 17 second-chance points.
Yeah, and that is thrilling because we have been flipped on that so many times against these Maryland teams. And so for us to be able to do that, that's the story, really. And we turned them into points, as you stated. So that was huge. And, we didn't do so well against Ohio State. We were okay against Nebraska. So to see us get back on the rebounding train again was, great. Obviously, it was a difference in this game. But moving forward, I just feel that confidence is back to grab the boards.
And I think you talked about the runs that Maryland had tonight, had in previous games, but the answer by the Hawkeyes to gather that lead again. Like you said, led for 32 minutes and 31 seconds, and that Sydney Falter three-pointer really stands out right in front of your bench.
Huge, and that's the thing. When you're, Caitlin is so special, and she does so many things, but there's got to be moments where someone steps up, someone else, and gets the board, in which Sid was big in that fourth down the stretch. The three, the boards, all of that. Molly Davis was big the whole game. I thought Addie came in and gave us some really good, consistent minutes. Kate gives us a double-double. And Gabby plays the D. She had a couple threes, I think. I know she'll be bummed about those at the end, but everybody really contributed, and I'm just really, really happy we saw a lot of positive things. I thought we really grew tonight, even despite the disappointment of letting up that lead. The growth that occurred within that, I think, is more positive than negative, and I'm certain that that's definitely fixable. There were some ill-advised shots. There was some ill-advised passes, and that's a lot easier to correct than some other issues that could have been the cause of that.
What is it about Molly Davis and big-time games, especially on the road, just to really
that
seems so comfortable?
She loves it. She has worked tirelessly. She ranks up there in hardest workers we've ever coached, and I see that kid in the gym.
That's saying something.
I'm telling you what, I got a lot of them. But there's not a 2 or 3 stretch that goes by that I don't see her extra in the gym. And that's why sometimes when you don't really notice her, I'm always like, Molly, this game, take it. And today we sat around the circle before after the shoot around. Lisa said, hey, give me something, everybody. Why are we going to win this game? And you know what Molly said? She's like, because we're going to have confidence in our shooting. And I would love that for her. So, she just is such a difference maker, and I just can't be happier for that kid.
Hey, you talked about the double-doubles, Caitlin, doing Caitlin things, Kate Martin with the double-double, and then Hannah Stahlke, even though missed some easy shots early, still had 9 points and 8 boards.
Well, that's what I told Hannah. Sometimes when she missed those 3 bunnies, and, to come back, that was growth.
Right.
Addie missed that one layup. There was it was frustrating, but she
knocked down the jumper.
And then she knocked down. So she had some big rebounds. So there was a lot of mental growth that I really think happened individually that really excites me as well, not just the team.
Yeah, and we talked about just kind of riding the waves and the ups and downs throughout the game. And I think when you talk about the growth, that really says something when you didn't break.
Absolutely. And and we so very easily could have. And this crowd, when they get behind you, and But a lot of it was.
You could hear them tonight, couldn't you?
Yeah, we could, and we've been here so many times, and we've had a few games where we kind of coulda, woulda, shoulda, but some have been just, that momentum goes and we never recover. So when we were sat here at the end, Lisa said, let's look up at that scoreboard because it hasn't always been so kind here. So we're really grateful, thankful, and hopefully we can just, keep building on this.
Happy locker room, huh?
Oh, my gosh, happy locker room, a happy flight home. My goodness, there's nothing like a happy flight home.
Especially this one, right?
Amen. Hey, special hello to my friends and family all over Iowa, especially the Southwest, and thanks to the Hawk fans that came out here. It really is amazing.
They've been around all day, haven't they?
Oh, my gosh, so grateful. All right, thank you so much, Rob.
Jan, thank you very much. Associate head coach Jan Jensen on the postgame show after the Hawkeyes do it. 93-85, a huge victory over the Terrapins for the first time in the Lisa Bluder era, and now 21-2. And 10-1 in the Big Ten Conference. Still tied on the loss side with Indiana and Ohio State, but those two play tomorrow. So the Hawkeyes will be tied with either Ohio State or Indiana tomorrow. But plenty of basketball to go. But what a way to start the month of February. 93-82 Iowa. Back with more from College Park after the break. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Do you want to play an integral part in helping the Hawks win championships? Now is your chance to make a difference. Join the Swarm today and partner with Iowa football and the Iowa men's and women's basketball programs to serve charities in eastern Iowa. Your tax-deductible Swarm donation will compensate our Iowa student athletes for working to further the missions of local charities such as the United Way, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and more. Go to iowaswarm.com for more information and make Iowa athletics the place for our student athletes to experience the thrill of winning championships.
Watch the exciting Iowa women's basketball team play in the Big Ten tournament. Travel Leaders Destinations Unlimited has just a few rooms available at the Marquette Hotel in downtown Minneapolis. The hotel is located just a few blocks and within an easy walk to the Target Center. This package is 2-night hotel only on March 8th and 9th with an option to purchase additional nights. Go to duagency.com to book this official Hawkeye women's basketball package. Click on vacations and group travel. Don't miss Hawkeye women's basketball in the Big Ten tournament. duagency.com.
Hawk fans, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Melrose Meadows. Voted Iowa City's best retirement community. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. If you are in the market to buy or sell a home, contact the Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty. For all your real estate needs, call 319-631-5455.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen, 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Every Hawkeye game is fun, but some seasons are just special, like sold out before it even starts special. But you can still be there to see it. Play the Hawkeye Gold Scratch ticket, and you can win a VIP game day experience to see Iowa women's basketball. The Countdown to Carver promotion from the Iowa Lottery is your chance to witness greatness and some really, really deep threes. To enter your ticket and see details, visit ialottery.com/VIP.
Thank you for joining us on the Iowa Soybean Association postgame show. Iowa, leading the nation in biodiesel production.
Hawkeyes with 44 points in the paint, 17 second chance points, and led for 32-31. All equals a 93-85 victory over Maryland, who incidentally falls to 12-10 and 4-7. But boy, that's going to be a dangerous team as you wait for the Big Ten tournament, as they usually are. You can't count them out. Well, I'm sure the locker room was in a good mood, and I'm sure Coach Bluder was in a good mood.
All right, we are here in the locker room with Coach Bluder. Coach, congratulations. Great game. You came in here tonight never having won on this court. Tonight, that changed. What was different this time around?
Well, I mean, Caitlin did Caitlin things, which was amazing in the first half. You know, when they got out to a strong lead, that 11-3 lead, and after that, I think we outscored them like 24-8 in that rest of that first period. But we won 3 of the 4 periods. We withstood their charge. I mean, they went up. I think by. They were up by 8. That was in the first quarter. They went up by a 2 or something. I
think it was 2 or 3.
Yeah. And we didn't lose our composure, and that's what I'm really pleased about. You know, we handled their comeback on the road, and that's not easy to do.
When you called those timeouts to both in the first and the third quarter, what do you talk about to the team? How do you get them refocused?
Well, I mean, the first quarter, we felt like we were giving up the things that we talked about defensively, transition, boxing out, and we weren't doing those things in the first quarter. But after that, they did a really good job. And, you know, in the third quarter, it was like, okay, they had their run. We know they're going to have a run. The basketball is a game of momentum, and now it's our turn. And I thought we did a much better job defensively in our zone after that point.
One sort of stat that stuck out to Rob and I, rebounding, especially offensive rebound at the end. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's, you know, first of all, you know, Hannah has 6 offensive rebounds and Sid has 3 offensive rebounds. And they were important because at the end of the game, we needed those extra possessions and just to milk that clock down. So their offensive rebounds at the end of the game were really spectacular. I love that we had 4 people in double figures tonight. Molly Davis was outstanding, you know, 77% shooting. Her adjusted was 77%, and we really needed her to step up offensively, and she did tonight. It was so nice to see. But then we almost had 5 people in double figures. I love that we had 25 assists on 14 turnovers as well.
Great. Excellent job. Congrats, Coach.
Thanks, Tiff.
Tiffany, thank you very much. And Coach Bluder, happy in the locker room, and certainly went through the key things for a Hawkeye victory. Well, you know, you have the starting 5, and then you also have Sydney Falter, who just knocked down that huge 3 that I talked to Coach Jensen about that really just kind of sealed the deal. For the most part, late in the ball game, and you felt really good about the Hawkeyes' situation at that point in time. Sydney played 19 minutes and 54 seconds, had 5 points and 6 rebounds, had a steal and a block, and knocked down that big-time 3.
Okay, we are here with the big dog, Sid Falter. Sid, great game tonight. Tough game, tough environment. Talk about what it was like to play out there.
I mean, it was really exciting for women's basketball as a whole, but the fact that we bring out the best in opposing crowds is really something special, and I mean, it's just fun to come on here and play. You can't hear much, so that was a little tough for us, but...
You had 6 rebounds tonight, and you had 3 offensive boards probably in the last, 2-3 minutes of the game that were huge. What are you thinking when you're out there and grabbing those boards and kind of getting physical and making sure it happens?
I just know we need those extra possessions, especially in a close game down the stretch. So I was going after it, and I thought I was going to get the ball and no one else.
And then, of course, the 3, the big 3 from the corner. You got it wide open. How did it feel?
I mean, it felt great. I heard my teammates on the bench behind me, but I just keep shooting, and you trust your work, and that's what I did.
Awesome. Congrats. Great game, Sid.
Thank you.
I'm going to get it, and no one else is. You have to love the mindset of Sydney Falter and the Hawkeyes, and that was the key thing tonight. 17 offensive rebounds as Iowa out-rebounded Maryland 48-32. We'll be back and wrap things up after Iowa's victory against Maryland, and listen in on some of tonight's action. 93-85. Hawkeyes with their 10th Big Ten victory of the season. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
Someone you know is having thoughts of suicide, experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, or just need someone to listen. 988 provides a direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be quickly connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. There is hope. You are not alone. For 24/7 support, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org.
Around here, Jack Frost nips more than just your nose. That's why the Midwest gets Honda. Dependable, all-wheel drive, with heated steering wheel and seats to keep Jack Frost off your seat, which will make it very happy. And since it's no fun to gas up in this weather, isn't it cool that Honda has such legendary fuel efficiency? New Hondas are arriving, but so is Mr. Frost, so see your Central Midwest Honda dealer. Honda gets the Midwest.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Ground beef is only $2.99 a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And $2.99 a pound is not just the price today or this week. It's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop. And count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for ground beef every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Welcome back to the Iowa Soybean Association postgame show. Biodiesel, moving Iowa forward.
Hawkeyes now 21-2 and 10-1 as Maryland falls to 12-10, 4-7. 17,950 tonight as Caitlin Clark, this is her 17th career game with 35 or more points, 5 or more assists, or 5 or more rebounds. And that's the most in college women's basketball history since 2009. And season high 12 assists to go along with the 38 points and the 6 rebounds tonight, 55 career double-doubles for Caitlin Clark. Well, I'm sure we'll hear her name as we listen in on some of tonight's top plays. Here is Marshall, free throw line extended left, gives to Clark, and she'll bomb a three-pointer and drill it left to the top of the key on the Gary Williams court logo. Hawkeyes quickly down court. Gabby Marshall, free, count it from the left wing. Hawks will have it along the sideline on top by 14, just underway third quarter. Clark out near midcourt. Briggs on her, spins and then drops a pass inside perfectly. A bounce pass to Kate Martin. Now back to Molly Davis. Keeps that left-handed dribble going. Now Kate Martin just right at the top of the key. Deep three for Caitlin Clark. Swishes it left to the top of the key. And a wild three-pointer by Alexander on the left wing. No good. Went off the window. Hawks get the rebound. Clark, lob pass inside. Stolke gathers, goes up, and finishes with a layup. McDaniel a couple steps in the backcourt, waiting for Caitlin Clark. Clark dribbles behind her back in between the circles. Now gets it to Kate Martin, and she drives from the free throw line, puts it up and in off the window, and is fouled by Brown Turner. That's her third. Looks inside, now gets it to Martin at the high post area. Fakes a 17-foot jumper, gets it back out to Clark. Fakes a three, couple of dribbles, three-pointer, got it! Left to the top of the key, Clark with 36. Now back to a Falter, plays catch with Martin. Now to Clark on the right side, 2 dribbles, and feeds a Falter for 3 left wing. Count it! All net for Sydney Falter. Now here's Clark, drives down the left side, bounce pass Stolke. She's tied up, somehow gets it to Molly Davis for 3. Count it! Molly Davis, a huge 3 from the right wing. And that was another one as well. You heard Sydney Falter's big-time 3, and you have to give Molly Davis some credit, too, as she knocked down a 3 late in the game. And then, as Coach Jensen said, also was instrumental at the beginning of the game with the 3-pointers. Molly Davis ended up with 17 points on 7 of 11 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. Clark was 7 of 17 from 3. Marshall hit 1, and of course Sydney Falter hit 1 as well. The Hawkeyes were 12 out of 33 from deep, and that's 36.4%. Free throw-wise, Iowa was 9 out of 10, 90%, just went to the line 10 times. Double that number for Maryland. They went 20 times and made 15. But the Hawkeyes win the ball game. Wasn't easy. Couple of nice runs by Maryland, as they usually put on you. But the Hawkeyes persevered, learned a lot, and will move on back to Carver Hawkeye Arena on Thursday night. So a couple of big road wins this week for the Hawkeyes at Northwestern. 110-74 last Wednesday, 93-85 at Maryland tonight. Thanks so much for joining us on our broadcast this evening, and glad we could bring you Iowa's 21st victory of the year and the first out at Maryland in the Lisa Bluder era. And the Hawkeyes now 10-1 in Big Ten Conference play. Next game broadcast will be on Thursday night, as the only meeting between Iowa and a much improved Penn State team. That is an 8 o'clock tip, will be on the air at 7:45. But we will talk before then Monday night on Hawk Talk from the Hyatt Regency in Coralville. Come on out and see us as we celebrate this big victory tonight, 93-85 over Maryland. We will be on the air from 6 until 7 along the Hawkeye Radio Network. Thanks once again for listening, and hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk Monday night. For Tiffany Reedy, I'm Rob Brooks. So long from College Park, Maryland, as Iowa defeats the Terrapins 93-85. This is Iowa Hawkeye women's basketball from Learfield.
This has been the Iowa Soybean Association postgame show. Biodiesel, moving Iowa forward. Hawkeye women's basketball has been brought to you by Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Authentic brand. Elevate your everyday style with a premium label of choice. Hy-Vee. Score big savings at HyVeeDeals.com. And by Iowa Lottery. Be a VIP with the Iowa Lottery. Visit IALottery.com for details. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.